Earl is still gaining strength and making a beeline towards Belize. Discover if Earl could become the first hurricane to make landfall in the Atlantic Basin since October of 2015.
And storms on land have a history of spinning up fury over water. The trouble today storms are creating now in the south. And who else is at risk for the roughest weather today?
Welcome to Weather Center Live, everybody. I'm meteorologist Mark Elliott.
And I'm meteorologist Alex Wallace. Now, we've gone more than, get this, 1,050 days, more than that, without a hurricane in the Gulf. And that streak, well, looks like it's going to be carrying on. Even if Earl does strengthen into a hurricane, expected to stay clear of the Gulf, at least in the near term. You
know, Belize is in the path here, a very low-lying area, very little elevation. So people with interest in the Yucatan, in Belize, even in Honduras, need to watch this carefully. Current wind speed still near 70 miles per hour, moving west at 14. And there's the kind of the track forecast of the center of this storm. So that is something that we are going to continue to monitor carefully.
And speaking of Belize, there a little word here on the airport there. Philip Goldson International Airport closing at midday in anticipation of Earl making its way into that area.
So we want more details on if this could strengthen more, where it's going, all those nitty-gritties that you're interested in. We're going to go to hurricane specialist Greg Postell. Dr. Greg Postell is here with us today. Doc, a lot to follow with this one.
Mark and Alex, you guys are exactly right. I mean, Earl right now is just on the edge of being a hurricane. It may well get there by this afternoon. Let's have a look at the latest 11 o'clock advisory from the Hurricane Center, keeping it at 70 miles per hour. If you were with us earlier this morning, it was at 70, and the intermediate advisory at 8 o'clock, it's still at 70, but the hurricane hunters are in there now, taking data, and we'll see, I think, in the next couple of hours if indeed it does strengthen according to their observations. And my sense is that it probably is going to come up. The next time we see a hurricane, the National Hurricane Center come out with a statement on this, it may be up a little bit in terms of intensity. Satellite pictures show you a lot of yellows there flaring up this morning right in here. So far, they've lasted a few hours, but they don't appear perfectly circular. You notice they're a little bit stretched and elongated in this kind of direction. Tells me that there's a little bit of a wind shear impacting the tropical system right now. That may be keeping the intensity at least from going bananas, but I think it's on a slow sort of pace to strengthen a bit all the way until landfall early tomorrow morning in Belize. Some of the observations right now, you know, on the periphery, we're not going to likely see strong winds anytime soon in this region, but I do believe in this area there will be 50, 60 plus mile per hour winds later on tonight. As the showers continue to increase in coverage, this is a radar from Belize City, by the way, which is right about there. And you can see the general northeast wind trying to blow some of those showers toward the southwest. That's going to be the theme today across the region. Really not so bad conditions now, but it's going to get a lot worse. And with that expectation, hurricane warnings are out for the entire region there across parts of southern Yucatan and Central America as well. Here's one forecast showing you where Earl is going, carrying with it some pretty strong winds. And exactly where that center goes does matter. It does matter a lot because you're going to have, if it moves to your south, you're going to have a strong wind coming on board like that. And that's going to be an onshore wind bringing some storm surge, perhaps 3 to 5 feet. And on the south side of it, you'll have an offshore wind keeping the water in check a little bit and slightly lower speed. The intensity forecast, there's some opportunity here, we think, for a little bit of intensification as it goes through the late afternoon and evening hours. But then once it crosses over into Central America, guys, it's going to turn into a rainmaker very quickly and take a lot of flooding rains with it all across Central America and Mexico. Mark, back to you.
That's an important part of the story, Doc. I mean, there's not a lot of elevation in Belize, but further down the line, there are mountains involved that could create some flooding as well. In the southeast, back on land, you had some flooding today around New Orleans. Things have quieted down. You've dried out, but my goodness, what a start to the day. A storm absolutely exploded over Lake Pontchartrain. There were 2,500 lightning strikes in about 15 minutes per minute there, right? Just imagine that, 2,500 lightning strikes in 15-minute windows, right? There was a tornado warning briefly there for St. Charles Parish as well. Now, as for your storms, we still have plenty of showers and storms near New Orleans. The rest of the southeast reasonably quiet, but that will change as we get into the daytime heating today. We'll bubble up that atmosphere once again. A couple of showers and storms along the Appalachian chain, not really moving much, so if these intensify any further and continue to sit in one spot, we could have some flash flooding issues to deal with. The Gulf of Mexico is open for business, right? We've got all this moist flow just pouring in from the Gulf. It is a very humid setup. It is a sultry day again here in the southeast. And you know what? All the way through the end of the week here, we're going to be dealing with this old boundary. And that's going to be part of the key, kind of forecasting where this old boundary sets up and where the old outflow boundaries from the rain, cool air from other storms set up, because those will be the trigger points for where we get more thunderstorms. Storms will pop up in and around those features. And so the models are trying to pick up on those small scale features as to where the storms are going to fire as we go through the afternoon hours. It looks like the best initialization will be from Tennessee into Mississippi today and then spread south and east from there. But everyone in the southeast, Alex, has at least a chance of seeing storms through the afternoon. Over to you.
And we've certainly been dealing with that as we work our way west of the Mississippi into the southwest, dealing with some of the storms and their very wet aftermath here. Look at what the storms and some of that heavy rain produced yesterday in Arizona. You're looking in on Gold Canyon. That's east of Phoenix and southwest of the Superstition Mountains. Looks like a raging river here that ran on through. Now, I don't know what it looked like beforehand, but I'd be willing to bet that this was probably more of a trickle than a raging river before that rain came on in. And the threat for more rain stretches across the area as we work our way through today, and we could be looking at more flash flooding. You can see the areas that are shaded in the green from Vegas to Flagstaff all the way into a good chunk of New Mexico. Flash flood watches in places, just a ton of moisture around. They're going to be very slow moving storms that could lead to that. Mark?
That wind shift, right? The monsoon, that's bringing the reason for all that rain across the southwest. Parts of the East Coast, however, face a different flooding challenge, the rising water. And that about that, why one firm that tracks housing and housing prices believes we could lose millions of homes to that rising water threat. Then storms target the plains. We're going to pinpoint the spots at greatest risk for severe weather today.
New clients.
Let's go meet them soon.
In person, we could read the room.
On the phone! You're just a voice. Yeah, I'm good.
For fast rewards, let's book on Choice.
This trip could really help us grow.
Should I stay or should I go?
When it's time to go for business, book on choicehotels.com for instant rewards like gift cards and points towards free nights. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
You know, there's a fast, easy way to borrow. RiseCredit.com. With $500 to $5,000 in your account as soon as tomorrow. And with rates that actually go down over time, you can apply with confidence. Visit RiseCredit.com today.
Hi, Linda. Looks like you've got a prescription to fill. The exact same drug that's $10 at this pharmacy is $150 at this one. GoodRx finds prices and discount coupons on every prescription. Just input the drug name and instantly find savings at virtually every pharmacy in America.
Here's my prescription, and I have a coupon from GoodRx.
Go to GoodRx.com and compare, print, and save for free. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Print your free coupon at GoodRx.com today.
Everyone has got a dream. You know what I mean?
Hey, is this our turn? Honey, our turn?
Yeah, we go left right here.
Great adventures are still out there. We'll find them in our Subaru Outback.
Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Get 0% on select Subaru models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, now through August 31st.
This Friday, the world unites for the opening ceremony of the 2016 Olympic Games from Rio. Later, dive right into an all-new Tonight Show with Jerry Seinfeld. Plus, Seth Rogen and a lip-sync battle. Friday, 7:30, 6:30 Central on NBC.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a few isolated thunderstorms developing this afternoon. High 89. Chance of rain 30%. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It wasn't just a little fear.
Don't be scared.
This was a genuine phobia.
We've got an all-new Top 10, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
You can mass produce a car, but you can't mass repair it. Get a $70 Bridgestone Visa prepaid card by mail with the purchase of 4 eligible tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
One of life's greatest pleasures is a home-cooked meal. So I'm really excited to be teaming up with HelloFresh. We're making it even easier to cook great meals from scratch. Beautiful. Now you can get my recipes and the exact ingredients that you need to cook them delivered in a chilled box direct to your door. We've done all the hard work for you. Now you've got the fun part. Order online at hellofresh.com today and get cooking.
What's it like to be in good hands? Like finding new ways to be taken care of. Home, car, life insurance, obviously. Oh. But with added touches you can't get everywhere else, like claim-free rewards or safe driving bonus checks. Oh, yes. Even a claim satisfaction guarantee. In means protection plus unique extras. Only from an expert Allstate agent.
It's good to be in good hands.
I step on the ground. Literally, I step into at least shin-high water from my bedroom, from my bed to the floor. And I stepped on the floor. I was like, oh, I already knew what happened. I already knew what happened because it happened 4 years ago.
Wow, tough situation there. You can see the water here and what's left of it, just a mess. Can you imagine the cleanup effort here as residents there in El Paso having to deal with that? It was thanks to a canal overflowing yesterday. Officials believing debris piles helped send knee-high canal water into some homes. As you would imagine, some of the residents had to evacuate. And that is just one example of flooding the Southwest is struggling with right now. Jen Carfagno shows us what the increased rains are doing in the region.
Hey, Phoenix Police, Highway Patrol, come get us out of here, please.
Monsoon storms make a mess of the evening commute in Phoenix. These are drivers on Interstate 17 last night before the Arizona Department of Transportation closed the highway. Around 3 inches of rain overwhelmed parts of the valley. One spot in Phoenix reported a rainfall rate at 1 inch in 30 minutes. Enough water to strand cars. The National Weather Service calls the storm a 100-year event, meaning that much rain has a 1% chance of happening in any year in a specific location. 130 miles southeast of Phoenix, floodwaters also spurted across roads in Tucson. Widespread areas of the city reporting 2 inches of rain. In the Santa Rita foothills south of Tucson, roads gushed with floodwaters. 2 high schools in Pima County evacuated as a precaution Tuesday. Road crews called in to get mud and rocks off highways. In Texas, a slow-moving thunderstorm quickly filled a canal in El Paso, leaving nearby yards covered with muck.
I step on the ground. Literally, I step into at least shin-high water from my bedroom, from my bed to the floor. I stepped on the floor. I was like, oh, I already knew what happened. I already knew what happened because it happened 4 years ago.
The muddy water invaded several El Paso homes, a nasty mess left behind to clean up.
The kids' playroom.
I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno.
All right, so let's talk about what's going on in the Southwest. More chances for the rain and storms. In fact, ongoing right now, you look around the Flagstaff area, that cluster just hanging out. This is an hour loop of the radar, not moving much at all. So that's one of the big stories here. Storms firing up and then not moving very fast, hanging over some of the same areas. So as we head on through the rest of the afternoon and getting into the evening, more showers and storms will start to flare up here for us across portions of the Four Corners, dump heavy rain, and again, not move very quickly over some of the same areas. And that's that's what could lead to, well, more flash flooding out there for us. So we do have flash flood watches in place. The rainfall that is anticipated through Friday into the evening hours. Most spots here you can see generally 1 to 2 inches, but pockets of 2 to 3, if not even 3 to 5. Right around Flagstaff could be dealing with that, and that could lead to the flooding. So anywhere you see green, flash flood watches are in effect. If you do encounter any sort of ponding on the road, you just don't know how deep that water is, turn around, don't drown. Mark?
Thanks, Alex. And you know, parts of the east have been slammed by flooding this week. Yesterday it was Norfolk, Virginia. Hampton Roads saw roadways covered in water after storm struck. That water washed over lawns and up to houses. And here's the thing. If one group that tracks homes and home prices is right, we could see a lot more flooding. Now, Zillow. If you bought a home, you know Zillow. They're making some startling predictions about the impacts that climate change could have on homes by the end of the next century. Here's the thing. If you believe and really follow the science that the sea levels could rise 6 feet by the year 2100, Zillow says that nearly 2 million homes then would be underwater. That's a loss of about 2% of the nation's housing stock, worth about $882 billion. There are 36 cities that would be entirely underwater, and nearly 300 cities would lose half their homes. Of course, Florida, a very low elevated state surrounded by water, would be the hardest hit. 1 in 8 homes of Florida would be lost, worth over $400 billion to that state alone. New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, and California, all big losses as well. Something that we have to follow as we look towards the future of weather.
Honey, is the internet back yet?
Yes!
I need to let her know that I'd like this. I'd like.
I haven't seen a movie based on a comic book in so long.
I know.
We're over here, internet people!
Get high-speed internet from AT&T with over 99% reliability at an everyday price with no extra monthly fees. Keep calm, your internet's on.
There were so many issues in my back.
Pretty much had shut me down. I couldn't even stand up straight.
After going to Laser Spine Institute, I can't tell you how much happier I am.
After years of living with chronic back pain, I finally found the answer.
Call Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how you can get lasting relief from chronic neck and back pain, all with a less than 1-inch incision. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic spine conditions, call today for your no-cost MRI review.
After surgery, I was so surprised that I could walk the next day and walk without pain. It was amazing.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-800-817-BACK now for your no-cost MRI review.
Calling Laser Spine Institute was the best decision I've ever made.
I can lift up my 3-year-old, run and play, and they help me get my life back.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
Today, we're talking about automotive awards. What if I told you there was a car company that received all of these awards?
One company, one award in all these? Chevy.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the last 2 years.
I love it. I'm just going to stay in here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
This summer, find your tag and get 16% of MSRP cash back on select remaining 2016 vehicles in stock. That's over $4,100 cash back on this all-new 2016 Chevy Malibu. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
A generation has grown up trusting the Weather Channel, relying on us for the most trusted storm coverage.
There is still a lot of flooding.
There's a tornado. Whoa!
And now choosing us as the highest-ranked TV news brand. Where you get your weather matters. So thank you for trusting the leading experts in...
So, Tampa, was I right?
Best letter ever.
Yeah.
Florida's most ways to play. Go to visitTampaBay.com.
I was on heroin.
I used crack cocaine.
We are the Addiction Network. And if you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, you need to call the number on your screen now. Addiction is a disease, and you can't go it alone. The call is free, and so is the consultation. If you have private insurance, your treatment could be covered with no out-of-pocket cost. So call the Addiction Network now.
Call 800-859-4027.
It wasn't just a little fear.
Don't be scared.
This was a genuine phobia.
We've got an all-new Top 10, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 86 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a few isolated thunderstorms developing this afternoon. High 89. Chance of rain 30%. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, welcome back to Weather Center Live, where we are tracking Tropical Storm Earl, flirting with hurricane status, but not quite there yet. The National Hurricane Center, it could be a hurricane, saying that it could be a hurricane at any point. Currently winds of 70 miles per hour, moving west at 14. As we continue to track this here, the hurricane hunters are in the storm right now. They're doing that classic alpha pattern, trying to fix on the center, get all the newest data. They found tropical storm force winds at a couple of different points here an hour ago, and really right now as they're heading back towards the center of that storm. Now, the impacts that Earl could have on Belize depend in part on the topography of the area. Jim Cantori explains.
This is going to be a big deal for Belize City, okay? Because if it goes to the north, it keeps the winds offshore. If it comes to the south of Belize City, that rushes all that water in the tune of maybe even 4 to 6 feet if this becomes a hurricane, right into Belize City. All right, so this is a city at sea level. It's 60,000 people. It's 18,000 structures, and that's a big problem in through here. Now, thank goodness this isn't, we're looking down the barrel right now at a Category 2, potentially strengthening, but it's a storm that could become a hurricane and certainly could cause some issues in through here, especially open to the southeast. This is a big, canal they use for transportation, and that goes through right in the heart of the city. But look at how focused the concentration of buildings is in through here, guys, right on this little peninsula. A beautiful peninsula down in the country of Belize. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Jim. So something to watch, that's for sure. Very low elevation there. Back on land, we are following the chance for severe storms. Here in North Dakota, it is quiet for the moment, but it's early in the day, right? And we could certainly have more daytime heating, more bubbling up of the atmosphere as we get that rising motion thanks to all the heat that's hitting the ground and creating those thermals. That'll bring the moisture up, condense it into clouds, and eventually storms. We already have a little bit of activity here in southeast North Dakota, as well as extreme western North Dakota. But this is going to increase drastically as we go through the rest of the day. We've got some jet stream energy that's going to be pushing right on into the Dakotas, and at the same time an upper level system is coming through, adding even more lift to the area. Meanwhile, the Gulf of Mexico, as we've been talking about, is just pumping up the moisture, right? The southerly flow goes all the way from the tropics right on into southern Canada. So as one system exits, our next system comes through, and it too will have enough oomph with it to kick up some big time storms. What that means today is that we're going to see storms really start to fire in. A couple of showers and storms moving out of the North Dakota and into Minnesota. But look what happens back towards the west. Potential this evening for a line of big time storms. A lot of wind energy here, hail, as well as the isolated tornado threat can't be ruled out as this whole thing gets organized. That's why we've got the Dakotas painted in red, as well as portions of Minnesota today. Hail and wind will be the biggest threats. In fact, here's the hail threat graphic. Much of central North Dakota into South Dakota with the potential for over 1 inch hail. Now, I know a lot of you on the East Coast are getting ready for your lunchtime, right? This is the view in Philadelphia. Not too bad at all. Mostly blue skies. Let's break this down for you. Let's give you the lunchtime forecast across the country, starting off in the east here, where it's going to be beautiful, right? We've got basically clear skies over much of the area. The exception will be these kind of showers here in Virginia and North Carolina. If you can avoid those storms over the next couple of hours, temperatures are pretty good. Have about New York City? Outdoor lunch? Not too bad. Upper 70s and sunshine, even Orlando, near 90 and humid, but you're avoiding the storms. All right, so let's look at a couple of videos for you. Which place would you think it was dealing with a tropical storm? Well, Jamaica had that go by, but in Georgia we had tropical rains as well. We'll break down that next.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
For people with heart failure, tomorrow is not a given. But Entresto is a medicine that helps make more tomorrows possible.
Tomorrow, tomorrow.
I love you. Tomorrow.
In the largest heart failure study ever, Entresto helped more people stay alive and out of the hospital than a leading heart failure medicine. Women who are pregnant must not take Entresto. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren. If you've had angioedema while taking an ACE or ARB medicine, don't take Entresto. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high potassium in your blood.
Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow.
Ask your heart doctor about Entresto and help make tomorrow possible.
You're only a day away.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Seal, the easy way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. And now, there's Flex Seal Liquid, the super thick rubber that you could pour right into cracks to stop water dead in its tracks. You could brush or roll on large areas for a watertight seal. Even dip all your tools for a tough, no-slip grip. Flex Seal starts out as a thick liquid and turns into a super strong, flexible rubber. Dip PVC pipes or downspouts to create a watertight seal that lasts for years. This rubberized coating prevents rust and corrosion. In extreme heat or cold, Flex Seal Liquid keeps its hold. Unlike thin paints, Flex Seal Liquid is super thick and creates a flexible barrier that's completely waterproof. It's like a handyman in a can. Flex Seal Liquid is safe around plants and animals, so we used it to seal this fish pond. Now any project, big or small, with Flex Seal, you can do them all. To show you the incredible sealing power of Flex Seal Liquid, we made this entire airboat out of screen and covered it in Flex Seal Liquid. After a day on the water, flying through alligator-infested swamps, Flex Seal's watertight barrier takes a beating, stays strong and flexible, and the inside is completely dry. Yahoo! Brush, roll, dip, or pour. Imagine everything you could do with Flex Seal Liquid. You'll get a large can of Flex Seal Liquid for just $19.99. Plus, we'll include a handy can of Flex Seal and Flex Shot. That's a large can of Flex Seal Liquid and a handy can of Flex Seal and Flex Shot. All for just $19.99. Order now.
To order Flex Seal Liquid today, call 1-800-931-2290. That's 1-800-931-2290. Go to FlexSealLiquid.com. Call or go online now.
Guess what I just did?
Built a sandcastle?
Huh. No. I just switched to Geico and got more.
More?
24/7 access online, on the phone, or with the Geico app.
That is more. Go get some mud.
All that more has to be why they're the second largest auto insurer.
Everybody likes more.
I think so.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Being outdoors in the summer is what the summer is all about.
I'm totally a summer person. I love warm weather. I love sunshine. I love the beach. I love the pool. I love being outside.
I am a heat lover. Take me to the beach anytime.
If it were summer all year round, I'd be okay with that. Join the Weather Channel fan community at weloveweather.tv.
Currently in our area, 86 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a few isolated thunderstorms developing this afternoon. High 89. Chance of rain 30%. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Closed captioning brought to you by Beltone, your premier hearing care partner.
Beltone is conducting a new trial on innovative hearing technology. You will be asked to evaluate a remarkable product that's virtually invisible. Call 1-800-BELTONE.
That wind, just part of the story of Tropical Storm Earl. This is video from the Cayman Islands, and you can hear those brisk winds sweeping there over the water and whipping around those palm trees.
And right now, Earl heading across the Caribbean, generally towards Belize, and it could be a hurricane at any point now. We are just waiting on a couple of more observations from the hurricane hunters that are flying through the storm right now. Thanks for sticking with us in Weather Center Live. I'm meteorologist Mark Elliott.
And I'm meteorologist Alex Wallace. Right now, still Tropical Storm Earl again moving there in the western part of the Caribbean, heading towards Belize, Guatemala, Mexico areas that could be impacted as well. And we're talking the potential here for some areas to see upwards of 12 inches of rain. That is quite a bit there for us. So let's check in now with Dr. Greg Postell. He's got an update on what's happening with Earl.
I do. The hurricane hunters are in there right now. So far, they have not found hurricane force winds. Still steady at 65 to 70 miles per hour, which the latest advisory has at 70. This is what we're going with, the 11 o'clock advisory from the Hurricane Center. Pressure just underneath 990 millibars, moving west at 14, which on that pace will bring it to Belize 2 or 3 in the morning Eastern time, which would bring it to right about there with some pretty strong winds, very heavy rain, and storm surge. Looking at the satellite pictures, some interesting developments only very lately in the last couple of scans. What I'm seeing is that initial flare-up that we saw, I'd say very early this morning, right out here, of those yellows and the expansion of some of those reds, indicating some big thunderstorms. Doesn't look like they've held together very well over the last few hours, suggesting to me it was a transient flare-up of thunderstorm activity, that this storm, meaning Earl, not ready yet to strengthen significantly. I think it's still kind of struggling a little bit with its surroundings, and on its surroundings we have winds of 10 to 20 miles per hour. Not so surprising, but as Earl moves this way, it's going to increase. The wind is in Belize City. We know that. The conditions are there. Going to get pretty bad. Let's have a look inside of the storm and sort of help explain why perhaps it is not strengthening quickly, certainly. If you can imagine the eye being right about up in here, watch this, right about there, you can see that is not completely encircled by thunderstorm activity. It's open on the west and southwest side, meaning it is not a well-developed tropical cyclone, and we are likely to see probably a steady state version of Earl move westward very close to the northern coast of Honduras. The Belize radar is not offline, but if I were able to show you this, you would see some rain showers moving in, and overall the conditions there not yet particularly bad. But it is going to get worse, right, Marky?
It looks dark there
right now. It
was
dark there, but the sun is out, believe it or not.
You can't tell from the radar, but
no.
It's not as dark as it looks.
Right, it's not. Right, conditions aren't as dark as nor is the forecast as dark as it looks. Although we do have hurricane warnings out for much of this area, including Belize and Belize City and parts of the Yucatan Peninsula, which, by the way, Carl Parker gave me a really good tip here with the elevation on Belize, the northern 2/3 of it, less than a meter in elevation. So any storm surge that we get, it could be significant, especially when we have that onshore wind. Look at this. This model, only one model I might add, is bringing the center of circulation likely south of Belize City, certainly tropical storm force winds up here, maybe hurricane force winds into Belize City early in the morning, and that onshore wind piling up some of that water to the tune perhaps of 3 to 5 feet worth of storm surge. And then once it moves inland, it's going to weaken very quickly, try to spin down, but along the way bring a lot of rain all the way across Mexico, and probably it emerges over the Pacific, Mark, early next week. What do you think about that?
I think that a lot of areas are going to be dealing with flooding, whether it's the storm surge flooding or the elevation flooding. Meanwhile, just listen to this. Believe it or not, this is a storm that came through Plant City, Florida. The winds whipping through, the rain pouring down. This feels very tropical, but no, this is just your garden variety summertime thunderstorm in the southeast, of which there will still be plenty more to go through, right? We are talking about storms that have been firing off kind of each and every afternoon, bringing bursts of rain like that and also extremely gusty winds. Right now, we've seen some of these storms along the I-10 corridor in and around southeast Louisiana after a very dangerous morning with tons of lightning. You now have some lingering showers and storms. This looks reasonably innocuous at the moment, right? But that's going to change too. The southeast is really going to fill in with storms as we go through the rest of the day. Let's zoom in here on southeastern Louisiana, where there is still a flash flood warning. More heavy rain training just outside of Laplace at St. James and St. John the Baptist parishes there. So be careful. Low-lying areas could continue to see flooding. There is just so much juice in the atmosphere, right? It's two things, many things that come into play with thunderstorms. But when you have enough moisture there, you don't need as much lift. You don't need as much warmth, right? The moisture kind of overcomes some of that. The dew points are so high that it's just so easy to pop these storms as we get any heating going. So storms are going to initiate along these old fronts and these old boundaries. And for the rest of today, we're looking at exactly that. Popcorn storms. Not everyone's going to see a storm in the southeast, but when you do, there could be bursts of extremely heavy rain and some gusty winds along with it as well. A similar pattern for tomorrow, more stormy weather, and Friday too. Sea breeze effects anywhere near the coast. You have even an enhanced chance of these storms, Alex. But over the next couple of days, these storms could still be packing a punch in the southeast.
All right, Mark, so we go from the south to the northern tier of the nation where storms will be a threat for the day. In fact, the biggest risk for severe will be here in the northern tier. So here's the setup here for us. We've got one system moving east. Here comes another frontal system that'll be tracking its way across the northern plains. That moisture Mark was talking about, well, some of that gets transported northward all the way up into the upper Midwest. Heads up, that low-level jet kicking in as well. So you start to move up a couple of thousand feet into the atmosphere, some stronger winds. And sometimes these storms, as they get going and get tall enough, they can tap into those stronger winds, bring them down to the surface. Those damaging winds can exist. So here's what's going to be happening with the dew point readings here. So the moisture in the atmosphere, you take a look at it as we work our way through the late part of our afternoon. Look back towards the west. Some of that drier air really starts to filter in, basically behind our system. So once this thing moves east, things will be cooling down a bit, but also becoming less and less humid out there. Dew points in the 50s as opposed to 60s and 70s behind this thing. So here's how it all play out for the rest of our afternoon. There's some few showers moving across northern Minnesota, but it's later today, getting in towards late afternoon and evening. Look at those storms really pop up, fire up across the Dakotas, then move towards the east as a line. And that's when we'll go from basically transitioning from potentially isolated tornadoes to more of a damaging wind threat as we work our way on in towards the late evening. So here's your setup. Looking at the red areas, anywhere in the red, potential for severe storms. Bismarck over towards Fargo later tonight, dealing with that. And then we shift that area east for tomorrow. All right, Mark, we need some rain in the northeast. The drought situation there.
Yeah, you know, the drought is still increasing across the northeast states. So we need more rain. I mean, when you look at a place like Buffalo or even Hartford, look how far away we are from where we generally would be. The departure from averages between 7 and 9 inches now, right? It's really adding up. We need more rain because of this deficit. Look at the latest drought monitor, right? We've got severe drought in a couple different areas of the northeast corridor. Much of the northeast is abnormally dry. As for the rain, maybe getting some in that kind of western side of New York State, but overall, a reasonably quiet pattern continues. And that's great if you're on vacation and you want to kind of check out the sights of Boston, but bad if you live there and you need more rain on a crunchy front lawn, right? Upper 70s to low to mid 80s with no rain in the forecast right on into the weekend. So that drought, Alex, could continue to build.
All right, Mark. Well, you know, the summer months, they are turning into a wet one for people out in the southwest. How much more rain they will be getting before the week is over. And as we leave you now, looking in on New Orleans. Yeah, this is a spot that has certainly seen our fair share of rain throughout the day. It continues. We'll let you know how long that'll last next.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a few isolated thunderstorms developing this afternoon. High 89, chance of rain 30%. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Thursday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I work round the clock. I want my blood sugar to stay in control, so I asked about Tresiba. Tresiba's a once-daily, long-acting insulin that lasts even longer than 24 hours.
I want to trim my A1C. Tresiba provides powerful A1C reduction, releases slow and steady, works like your body's insulin. When my schedule changes, I want something that delivers. I can take Tresiba any time of day, so if I miss or delay a dose, I take it when I remember, as long as there's at least 8 hours between doses.
Once in use, it lasts 8 weeks without refrigeration, twice as long as Lantus, which lasts 4 weeks.
Tresiba is used to control high blood sugar in adults with diabetes. Don't use Tresiba to treat diabetic ketoacidosis during episodes of low blood sugar or if you're allergic to any of its ingredients. Don't share needles or insulin pens. Don't reuse needles. The most common side effect is low blood sugar, which may cause dizziness, sweating, confusion, and headache. Check your blood sugar. Low blood sugar can be serious and may be life-threatening. Injection site reactions may occur. Tell your doctor about all medicines you take and all your medical conditions. Taking TZDs with insulins like Tresiba may cause serious side effects like heart failure. Your insulin dose shouldn't be changed without asking your doctor. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing, fast heartbeat, extreme drowsiness, swelling of your face, tongue, or throat, dizziness, or confusion. Ask your doctor if you're Tresiba ready.
If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and a high risk for fracture, I can tell you Prolia is proven to help protect bones from fracture. But the real proof? My doctor said Prolia helped my bones get stronger. Are your bones getting stronger?
Do not take Prolia if you have low blood calcium, are pregnant, are allergic to it, or take Extiva. Serious allergic reactions such as low blood pressure, trouble breathing, throat tightness, face, lip, or tongue swelling, rash, itching, or hives have happened in people taking Prolia. Tell your doctor about dental problems, as severe jawbone problems may happen, or new or unusual pain in your hip, groin, or thigh, as unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred. Prolia can cause serious side effects, including low blood calcium, serious infections, which could require hospitalization, skin problems, and severe bone, joint, or muscle pain. Only Prolia helps strengthen and protect bones with 2 shots a year.
I have proof Prolia works for me. Can it work for you? Ask your doctor about Prolia today.
Rise. It's a fast way to borrow. With cash in your account as soon as tomorrow. Helping you get back to what matters most. Visit risecredit.com today.
The days of cord hassles are numbered. Dyson's cord-free format transforms cleaning on carpets and hard floors. With a light, powerful digital motor, it adapts easily to clean here, pretty much anywhere, without the hassle of a cord.
Save up to $150 on select Dyson technology.
Hi, Linda. Looks like you've got a prescription to fill. The exact same drug that's $10 at this pharmacy is $150 at this one. GoodRx finds prices and discount coupons on every prescription. Just input the drug name and instantly find savings at virtually every pharmacy in America.
Here's my prescription, and I have a coupon from GoodRx.
Go to goodrx.com and compare, print, and save for free. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Print your free coupon at goodrx.com today.
Well, the Southwest getting hit hard with some heavy rain. Check out some of the video there. That's on the left from Phoenix, Arizona. You see the water just rushing through the streets and cars trying to go through it. And my gosh, you just have to shake your head. You just don't want to be doing that. On the right side, you've got Tucson looks right now, and certainly gray skies in play, and the risk for more rain as we head on through our afternoon. Mark?
You know, we are following that setup still, right? The monsoon, the wind shift that's brought the moisture back in to the southwest. We continue to see more rain in and around the Tucson area. We had some flash flooding at this time yesterday, just outside of Tucson. Now Flagstaff getting a turn too. What's different as you go up towards Flagstaff is you got all those mountains of northern Arizona. A lot of people in Phoenix escape some of the Phoenix heat in the summer and go up to Flagstaff because of the elevation. It's cooler, but it also means more problems with some flooding because all that water has to flow downhill into the lowest points. As we go through the rest of the day, the model already doing a decent job at kind of picking up on where these storms are. The initialization pretty good around Tucson as well as right over Flagstaff. So as we roll this forward, look what we can expect through the rest of today. More widespread showers and storms compared to yesterday. The flooding threat is there. Downbursts could happen where if we get a fast-moving bunch of rain falling down from the sky that can then send strong winds out in all directions from that, and then dust storms can happen well away from the rain. So a lot of threats with the storms during this time of year. Not to mention the fact that we could just have plain old flooding from them, right? Because there's so much rain. Rain that's still to come through Friday afternoon, still hinting at an additional 1 to 2, maybe even 3 to 5 inches of rain in a couple of spots on top of what we've already seen this week. And so there certainly could still be a good bit of rain to go through. Now, because of this, flash flood watches are up. Fairly widespread, too, including places like Flagstaff, which is getting the rain, but also Vegas, right? Vegas hasn't had much yet, but we've seen the video time and time again. When it starts to rain over the strip, it often is too much rain for that paved over surface to take care of, and you wind up getting flooded streets right in front of the casinos. So keep that in mind if you're planning a trip to Vegas. From Tucson to Albuquerque to Santa Fe, even Santa Rosa, also under these flash flood alerts. Now, here's the thing. We need more rain, believe it or not. It is still a severe drought and moderate drought across much of Arizona into New Mexico. The worst of the drought removed from the Four Corners back towards Southern California. The monsoon probably not bringing showers and storms in that direction. So not good news there. Albuquerque, however, afternoon thunderstorms the next couple of days. Alex.
All right, Mark, so let's talk about this monsoon and what it is and how it gets all set up out there for you. So in the southwest here, you know, this time of the year really gets very, very hot. We always talk about the steamy times, or I think just hot baking times, right, with triple-digit numbers. Well, it's that intense heat that actually creates what we call a thermal low. You get that rising air, right? So low pressure actually develops at the surface, and that helps to draw a bit of moisture coming in from the Gulf of California, the Pacific, as well as a bit of moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. So you've got a couple of sources of moisture streaming on into the southwest. And as we work our way through the days, we get a little bit of heating of the day and all that moisture starts to rise. And well, we form clouds and eventually showers as well as storms that can produce some very heavy downpours. And we've already seen the video of the result of that. Now, when we talk about the monsoon here that sets up in the southwest, typically we see that beginning in the latter part of June and getting into July. We saw a bit of that set up here as we worked our way into that early part of the month of July. Now, in the southwest, we also see a good portion of our rain during this time of the year. In fact, we're talking about most of the area receiving more than half of the annual precipitation when that monsoon kicks in. But the problem is, the area just can't handle that much rain, so you get the result of flash flooding, issues with lightning, and those dust storms as well. You get the wind kicked up by the storms, kicking up the dust, and that can be a result. Mark?
Well, Tropical Storm Earl continues to churn its way through the Caribbean. We are tracking who will get hit the hardest by this storm as it continues its move towards the west and towards some very low elevation. So storm surge flooding is a concern here. We're going to have your full tropical update coming up in about 3 minutes. Plus, we're looking at the southeast, including Charleston. Will you see more popcorn storms today, creating flash flooding for you? We'll show you the risk there as well as Weather Center Live continues.
The following memories are brought to you by Prevagen. Your memories make you who you are, and now your ability to recall short-term details could actually improve with age. The breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain, allowing you to stay as sharp as possible, because you've got a lot of great memories to make. Powered by an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish, Prevagen is clinically shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, the name to remember.
Important IVC medical alert. Are you at risk of serious injury? Act now to prevent it. Recent studies show IVC filters intended to stop blood clots from reaching the heart and lungs often fail, even years later, and cause internal bleeding, organ puncture, or death. Now the FDA is advising they be removed. If you have an IVC filter, you may be unaware of your injury, or you may be able to prevent it. Call now for a free consultation regarding potential compensation at 1-800-800-1102.
We want to encourage our people to listen to the Weather Channel.
It's a place you can turn to and trust.
The damage along the coast we think is going to be catastrophic.
The Weather Channel being here has kept the federal attention to this tragedy.
This weather is affecting people and their relatives across the country.
There's no other place that has this amount of expertise than we do right here on the Weather Channel.
When it comes to a weather situation that warrants attention, we're the place to go. It's that simple. Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a few isolated thunderstorms developing this afternoon. High 89, chance of rain 30%. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Thursday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Are you road ready? What currency do you use to test your tread? Stay tuned for your answer. A. Penny. One easy way to check for wear is by using the penny test.
I get a ton of deliveries, and there's been a lot of package theft in my neighborhood. Do you have anything that can help with that?
Well, I've got the Ring Home Security Kit. With the Ring Video Doorbell, you'll never miss a visitor, no matter who it is.
Hey, Bill, can you leave it by the side gate?
You got it. Plus 2 stick-up cams, which create a ring of security around your entire home.
Thanks, Bill.
You got it.
It's that simple?
You got it. With Ring, you're always home.
Get the Ring Home Security Kit today, only at Best Buy.
There were so many issues in my back.
Pretty much had shut me down.
I couldn't even stand up straight.
After going to Laser Spine Institute, I can't tell you how much happier I am.
After years of living with chronic back pain, I finally found the answer.
Call Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how you can get lasting relief from chronic neck and back pain, all with a less than 1-inch incision. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic spine conditions, call today for your no-cost MRI review.
After surgery, I was so surprised that I could walk the next day and walk without pain. It was amazing.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-800-817-BACK now for your no-cost MRI review.
Calling Laser Spine Institute was the best decision I've ever made.
I can lift up my 3-year-old, run and play, and they help me get my life back.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
Seems we've hit a roadblock.
That reminds me. Anyone have occasional constipation, diarrhea, gas, bloating?
Yes.
1 Phillips Colon Health probiotic cap each day helps defend against occasional digestive issues with 3 types of good bacteria. Live the regular life.
200 million watching history be made. 2 million making their own. 5 seconds gained. And a nomination won. When it counts, the biggest moments count on Comcast Business. With $5,000 of NBC coverage for the games. Over 900 miles of fiber laid for the Democratic National Convention. 40 pit stalls monitored at once for NASCAR, and 10 terabytes of data transferred for the big game at Levi's Stadium. We know what it takes to connect millions. Imagine what Comcast can do for your business.
Did you know pain is caused by aggravated nerves? Introducing the Aspercreme with lidocaine patch. It quickly desensitizes aggravated nerves to block pain for maximum strength relief with no odor or irritation. New Aspercreme with lidocaine patch. Relieve the nerves, stop the pain.
I'm so glad my gynecologist recommended it. Now the itching and irritation of feminine itch, not a problem anymore.
Cortisone 10 Feminine Itch Relief with Aloe has the strongest non-prescription itch medicine for fast, gentle, long-lasting relief. Cortisone 10, itch-free, worry-free.
300.
It wasn't just a little fear.
Don't be scared.
This was a genuine phobia.
We've got an all-new Top 10. Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Well, Tropical Storm Earl making its way through the western parts of the Caribbean, making a run for central portions of America, the Yucatan Peninsula as well. You're starting to see some of the outer clouds and the band moving closer and closer to land.
Yeah, heavy rain threat and a gusty wind threat, not to mention the storm surge. A lot to follow with this tropical storm that does have the potential to become a hurricane. Even on this visible satellite imagery, some new storms seem to be bubbling up right near the center. So maybe some intensification going on right now.
Yeah, we'll see. We got our hurricane specialist, Dr. Greg Postell. He's with us to find out the very latest on this thing. And Dr. Postell, it is very, very close to getting to that hurricane status.
Yeah, it's right on the threshold, right? It's estimated to have 70-mile-per-hour winds now, and it only needs 5 more miles per hour in the wind speed to get it to Category 1. It's trying, but the hurricane hunters are in there right now, and they're not finding evidence of it being a 75-mile-per-hour hurricane. Instead, I'm thinking it's right around where it was just a couple of hours ago, sort of steady state. But let me talk about where it's going, because this is important, and I want to let everybody know that it's basically going toward Belize City, and I want to time it out just to give you sort of the overall view first before I dive into some of the details. We think it's going to make landfall somewhere in the midnight, 1-2 a.m. time frame, and the center very close to Belize City. The elevation there is low. It's near sea level. The northern 2/3 of Belize overall are less than 1 meter above elevation, sea level. So wherever the center goes, and just north of that, the significant storm surge will be a player, and perhaps as much as 3 to 5 feet, according to the National Hurricane Center. Moving everything forward in time overnight tonight and tomorrow morning, some of the models keep this thing inland and essentially dissipate it over interior Mexico there. But there is a shot that it maybe comes back out over the Bay of Campeche and has an opportunity briefly to strengthen. But overall, that's what's going to happen with Earl. Let's now get to the specific stats. And I told you at 11 o'clock, 70 mile per hour on the wind speed, according to the National Hurricane Center's latest update. But the hurricane hunters are flying right now in there. And I've seen the real-time data essentially showing us not much of a change in that. So it doesn't look like it on the satellite pictures, right? Guys, it looks like some of the cloud tops here are beginning to warm, suggesting maybe some of the thunderstorm activity is not as strong as it was 4-6 hours ago. And in fact, I was looking at some reconnaissance data, some drop zones right out in this zone, where they were finding relative humidities between about 5 and 10,000 feet in altitude at 60%. So it's relatively dry, just ahead of the storm, which may be, this is just a guess here, maybe some of the reason why these clouds are beginning to fall apart a little bit. Perhaps some downdrafts are beginning to take over the circulation. Just a guess, but the idea is that it's still going to be a strong tropical storm regardless as it moves that way during the afternoon hours. And the winds in Belize now 14, they're going to go up. And radar right now out of that very area shows only those scattered showers moving in, but the conditions there are going to get worse. Storm surge will be a significant issue, I think, just north of where the center tracks overnight tonight. Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Postell. So let's talk about the classification here of these tropical cyclones. Tropical depression, anything that's less than 39 miles per hour, we're talking about sustained winds. Now, where is Earl right now? Well, it's right in this range, sitting at 70 miles per hour. So tropical storm status, but just under. I mean, we just get 5 more miles per hour and we'll be dealing with a hurricane. So we'll see if that happens. Now, if we go from 70 to 75, the impacts are not going to be that great. It's more for the record books and more for talking points. But beyond that, impacts will not be that much different. All right, so let's talk about the frequency of these tropical systems, and you see where we are. Going to be ramping up here for you. We're generally in this zone, but look what happens as we start to move through August and into September. We really start to see the frequency increase before dying down towards the end of November. Mark?
And Alex, we are of course tracking the storms that are on land as well. New Orleans, one of the places where they've already flared up today. Still some lingering rain nearby. We'll show you if the places in the southeast that actually need more rain will get any today.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a few isolated thunderstorms developing this afternoon. High 89. Chance of rain 30%. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tropical storm Earl gaining strength and making a beeline towards Belize. Discover if Earl could become the first hurricane to be making landfall in the Atlantic Basin since October of 2015.
And the sound you do not want to hear, tornado sirens. And there they are. This was yesterday as storms approached Jackson, Tennessee. And they've sounded again today in a different part of the South. Just ahead, who's at risk for the roughest weather?
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, everybody. I'm meteorologist Mark Elliott.
And I'm meteorologist Alex Wallace. Get this, we have actually gone more than 1,050 days without a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico.
Longest streak ever.
Unreal. That streak, though, looks like it's going to be carrying on because even if Earl does strengthen into one, it is expected to stay clear of the Gulf, at least here in the near term.
So Earl came through and kind of brushed the Caymans. This is the view from Grand Cayman. And yeah, the surf was up a little bit, but I don't think anybody would really complain about a view like this one. Tropical drink in hand and everything. The island under a tropical storm watch for a time, but then officials lifted it after Earl moved south of the island, and there were no reports of damage coming into us here at the Weather Channel.
Yeah, that's not a bad looking picture, as you said there. But right now, it's off to the south and west of that general area. Moving closer and closer, though, to Central America. Right now, there's this latest stats on Tropical Storm Earl. Winds sustained at about 70 miles per hour and moving on off towards the west. There is the projected path, the official path from the National Hurricane Center. Looks like sometime late tonight, maybe overnight, we'll be talking about a landfall, then moving over land with some weakening before potentially moving back out over the Bay of Campeche.
And of course, we are also watching kind of the new information coming in, both from the satellites that are looking down on the storm and from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft that's in the storm right now. And to kind of break down all of this, let's go to our hurricane specialist right now, Dr. Greg Postell. Doc.
Mark and Alex, thank you guys very much. Let's go right to the satellite pictures. And I want to tell you what I'm seeing when I see these trends. A lot of the cloud tops, the thunderstorm activity associated with Earl, they're warming. These cloud tops are warming. The clouds are not as tall as they were just, say, 6 hours ago. And the hurricane hunters have been flying in there, a pattern about like that. And they found winds of about 65 to 70 miles per hour, sort of as we've thought all along. And the pressure maybe just underneath 990 millibars. But one important observation that I just was looking at, dropsonde was released right out in about that zone, which indicated to me between about 5 and 10,000 feet in altitude, the relative humidity was about 60%. There was a very big dew point depression, almost 10 degrees Celsius. So that tells me that there's some dry air lurking out here, perhaps on the east side of the circulation, which may be trying to deteriorate some of the convective organization, introducing some downdrafts into the storms. It's hard to tell right now. I'm looking at the visible satellite pictures. I don't really see evidence of that. But some of these bright whites here are anvil tops that you see from thunderstorms, but they're not really attached to the actual convection itself. They're kind of orphan anvils, so to speak, meaning, yeah, there's some high clouds here, but they're not really attached to some of those stronger updrafts. So maybe it's a sign that it's not on a steady strengthening phase, that maybe it's going to hang on to the intensity it's got. along its westward path. Right now, on the radar from Belize City, you can see some scattered showers moving in from the northeast. And these are showers maybe bringing occasionally some winds of 10 to 15 miles per hour. They will get more numerous in the Belize and Belize City area as Tropical Storm Earl continues to move west at 14. Perhaps the biggest threat of all will be the storm surge just near and north of where the center goes. I'm going to show this to give you an idea of what at least some of the models think is going to happen. This is, again, one model, but what it tells you is that north of where the center is, there's going to be that onshore east wind, perhaps over 50 miles per hour, bringing a wave run up, bringing storm surge, and there's not a lot of elevation here. So storm surge could be a significant issue to contend with, not only in Belize overall, but in Belize City as well. We'll have to watch it very closely as we go through the afternoon and early morning hours. Mark, back to you.
Thank you, Doc. Only a couple of feet there, so there's not much protection from that kind of storm surge. Meanwhile, without a tropical system coming into play, we have our own fair share of problems for the Gulf Coast states right now. It's been a very rainy morning as storms fired up over Lake Pontchartrain early today with just ridiculous amounts of lightning with them. And then these storms have just kind of continued to rebuild over the same areas. So from New Orleans over to Laplace, we've seen persistent rain, so much so that there's a flash flood warning for St. James and St. John the Baptist parishes there. Be careful in the low-lying areas. There certainly could be some flooding as we go through the rest of the day. Meanwhile, the rest of the southeast is reasonably quiet. A couple of spotty showers in Alabama. What will turn into our kind of instigator is these old overnight storms dropping down from Tennessee and from Arkansas. These are putting out these old boundaries that are going to be interacting with all this moisture that's been streaming up from the Gulf of Mexico. Plus, we have this old front here, too. All of these working together to be the kicker, the focal point for these showers and storms as we go through the rest of the day. And the high-resolution models are picking up on that pretty well. As we go into the afternoon, look at how we fill in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, including Nashville, and then through Georgia and the Carolinas, too. Not everyone's going to see a storm, but there will be these popcorn storms that have at least the chance of bursts of very heavy rain and low visibility for that drive home time. Alex, over to you.
All right, thanks, Mark. Meanwhile, we head westbound and into the southwest, dealing with storms and their very wet aftermath. I mean, look at this video here. This is a prime example. Vail, Arizona, which is south and east of Tucson, yesterday after some heavy rain. It's basically a raging river here. Phoenix, the Tucson area saw some flooding as storms dumped the rain, and today the risk for more flash flooding does exist. But what a mess, and it doesn't take a whole lot of rain to end up with scenes like that. And we could be unfortunately seeing that again. Here we have flash flood watches in place across a good chunk of the southwest, southern Nevada, including Vegas, down towards Flagstaff. That's been extended now to include the Phoenix area and then spreading on into portions of New Mexico. It's the rain coming down and not moving very quickly over some of the same areas that may lead to some problems. Mark?
And so the reason for all that rain in the southwest is, of course, the monsoon. Coming up, we're going to show you how the monsoon works and why even a little bit of heavy rain can bring flooding trouble. Then storms target the plains. We'll show you the spots at greatest risks for severe storms through the next couple of days as Weather Center Live rolls on.
At Pure Leaf, we know that the best things in life are real. So we brew iced tea the way you brew it at home. For real, delicious leaf-brewed iced tea. Pure and simple. Pure Leaf, for the love of leaves.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you are struggling to afford the medical costs not covered by Medicare, you can now call the Medicare Coverage Helpline. The Medicare Coverage Helpline can find out if you qualify for a Medicare supplement or other benefits like dental or vision coverage. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now and get what you're entitled to. Call now. It's free.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Even with your Medicare coverage, the cost for copays, deductibles, and other benefits like eyeglasses and dental work can cost you a lot of money. Don't spend money you don't have to spend. So many people don't get what they're entitled to because they just don't call. Take my advice. Call now. It's free.
Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline and get the MedSup and dental coverage you may be entitled to. Don't delay. Call now so the next time you're asked for a copay or have to pay for other benefits yourself, like eyeglasses and dental visits, it now may be covered. Call now. It's free. 800-379-0894. That's 800-379-0894. Call now.
Did you know this Samsung front loader with Ad Wash from Lowe's easily allows you to add clothes to it even after it's already started, so nothing ever gets forgotten?
So you can add clothes after the cycle started?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
I agree.
I agree more.
Well, I guess we'll just have to agree to agree.
Feels like I'm still agreeing more.
Now save $400 on the Samsung Ad Wash front load washer at Lowe's.
We know you have a morning routine. We have one too. 7 days a week, AMHQ is right here and weather ready with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, Jen Carfagno, and the rest of AMHQ.
Let's get right to what you want, and that is the weather.
AMHQ, every morning starting at 5 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It wasn't just a little fear.
Don't be scared.
This was a genuine phobia.
We've got an all-new Top 10, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
You do know the experts at Midas will tell you what needs fixing now and what can wait, right? Like, I don't know, brakes?
Of course I do.
Get the Midas Oil Change Plus with tire rotation for only $19.99, up to $5 disposal fee. Use your Midas credit card and get $20 back by mail. Get an appointment at Midas.com.
Hi, Linda. Looks like you've got a prescription to fill. The exact same drug that's $10 at this pharmacy is $150 at this one. GoodRx finds prices and discount coupons on every prescription. Just input the drug name and instantly find savings at virtually every pharmacy in America.
Here's my prescription, and I have a coupon from GoodRx.
Go to GoodRx.com and compare, print, and save for free. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Print your free coupon at GoodRx.com today.
You do all this research on the perfect car, then smash it into a tree. Your insurance company raises your rates. Maybe you should have done more research on them.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Oh, and the rain started falling in Phoenix Tuesday. It just didn't seem to want to stop. And you get a sense of that in this video. You can hear it, but you can also see it falling and cascading here off the roof above this patio. Wet times for sure. And that's not all. If you look closely at this video, you can actually see some of the rain falling in Chase Field. Yeah, that's why they play a little baseball, even though the stadium roof is closed. And when the rain falls like this in the Southwest, well, there is one thing that you can count on, and that's going to be some flooding, like the kind you actually saw in and around Phoenix yesterday. I mean, look at that. It doesn't take a whole lot of rain to cause roads to get swamped like this, and even strained drivers. Officials closing a stretch of I-17 for several hours due to that flooding there. Look at that car in the middle going absolutely nowhere. It's one of those situations here, again, you don't need a whole lot of rain to get a scene like that. If you see it on the roads, please turn around, find another path to take, another route to take. It's better to be late to where you're going or to not get there at all. So here's what's going on right now as we look at the radar, and sticks out here for you right around Flagstaff. We've been watching this cluster here just hanging around here. Been raining there at the airport at least a couple of hours, and we still are dealing with that, some moderate to even heavy rainfall at times. And you notice the movement of that, not a whole lot. So that's the story with a lot of these storms that fire up. They fire up, but then they don't move a whole lot and dump that rain, and that's where we can run into some of those problems. So as we move through the rest of the afternoon, getting into the evening, showers and storms flaring up across a good chunk of the Four Corners, back into southern Nevada, the Vegas area, along the strip could be dealing with some rain there, back over towards Albuquerque. Even as we get into the, again, overnight hours, still some of this rain is hanging around out there for you. How much are we anticipating? This well goes through Friday into the evening. Most areas, a pretty large swath here in the Four Corners region, generally 1 to 2, but there'll be some pockets of 2 to 3 and even 3 to 5 inches of rainfall. That will be possible. Hence, flash flood watches are in play. Mark?
And let's talk more about the monsoon, right? That seasonal wind shift that brings the wet phase in this time of year through the southwest. Look at the kinds of storms that you can see. Big downbursts of rain, the wind energy that as that kind of moving air hits the ground and spreads out, and the swirling clouds above, the lowering visibilities. This is the kind of storm that you can see during this time of year. Let's talk a little bit more about how we get this whole setup to go. The North American monsoon and why we see kind of the wet phase of the monsoon this time of year. Number one, it's the desert southwest. There's plenty of heat, which means plenty of rising air. Now, with that, you get a bit of a thermal low that forms, right? Lower pressure because of that rising air, which helps to pull in moisture from the Gulf of California. At the same time, you have high pressure that generally dominates the Intermountain West. The clockwise flow around that can pull in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So you got both of these moisture sources meeting up with that rising air, and that's how you then condense into clouds and showers and storms in the long run. So underneath those storms, you can get really intense rains and, again, the very gusty winds that can come along with them as well. The monsoon, at least the wet phase of the monsoon, if you will, because you could argue that the monsoon is all year. It's just a wind shift, right? So that wind shift brings the moisture in generally late June or early July. Most of the southwest receives more than half of the whole year's of precip during this time. And of course, it comes with flash flooding, lightning, and all kinds of other threats too. Alex.
All right, Mark, how about we work towards the beach? Virginia Beach, to be exact, and that's a pretty sight. The wind's whipping around out there for you, but people are out and about. Try to enjoy this mid part of the week. The sun is shining. Make sure you have the sunscreen handy. You will need it. How about as you head to the weekend? Let's get you into it as we look towards your Saturday. West Coast, I'd say mostly quiet and dry here from L.A. to San Fran. A few showers in far western sections of Washington. Here into the middle of the country, there could be some showers and storms, and the southeast. Saturday and Sunday, we'll have to watch the skies. Not all day rain, but just watch for things to pop up during the afternoon hours.
This program brought to you by Behr Marquee Interior. One coat guaranteed. Behr's most advanced paint.
One coat?
Yes. There's a day for every number. There is a time for all my slumbers, and I can see that I can run and hide.
One coat guaranteed Marquee Interior. Behr's most advanced paint. Come find our top-rated paints only at the Home Depot.
When did it become okay for a backpack to give up? Or sit one out? Or take it easy? Run away from a turtle? Never. That's never been okay. Discover packs made to last at llbean.com.
If you or a loved one have an IVC filter device that was implanted to prevent blood clots, call Flint Firm now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. IVC filters can possibly move or break, causing serious complications, including tearing of the heart or lungs, internal bleeding, pulmonary embolism, or even death. Time is limited to file your claim. Call the number on your screen now. Flint Firm attorneys are available for your free IVC filter consultation. Call 1-800-429-1075. That's 1-800-429-1075.
Meet Ron, a big guy with a big heart. His mom would agree. When Ron took her in, unexpected medical bills followed, and things got a little out of hand. That's when he reached out to Rise, with cash in your account as soon as tomorrow, and rates that go down over time, letting Ron focus on what matters most.
Seconds.
Rise, with $500 to $5,000 in your account, tomorrow's looking up.
Every day you get to accept things as they are or take responsibility for changing them.
The people of Flint, Michigan, it's like we don't matter.
It's such a real issue that's right in front of us.
Climate, environment, science, technology. Let's have a conversation. And together, we can solve these things.
23.5 degrees, Tuesday nights at 11 on The Weather.
200 million watching history be made. 2 million making their own. 5 seconds gained. And a nomination won. When it counts, the biggest moments count on Comcast Business. With $5,000 of NBC coverage for the games. Over 900 miles of fiber laid for the Democratic National Convention. 40 pit stalls monitored at once for NASCAR. And 10 terabytes of data transferred for the big game at Levi's Stadium. We know what it takes to connect millions. Imagine what Comcast can do for your business.
Welcome to Ocean Breeze, an elegant new townhome enclave only 1 block from the ocean and the historic Juneau Pier. Ocean Breeze offers over 2,000 square feet of luxury townhome living. All units are 2-story, 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths with a spacious 2-car garage. Exquisitely finished interiors feature a complete suite of upscale appliances, designer cabinetry beneath 9 and 10-foot ceilings, conveniently located next to shopping, dining, and fine restaurants. Experience the island life. obtownhomes.com.
It wasn't just a little fear.
Don't be scared.
This was a genuine phobia.
We've got an all-new Top 10, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back. Of course, the big focus is on our tropical storm, which continues to churn there in the western parts of the Caribbean. That would be Earl. And there's a satellite view here for you, the noon hour, and you can see getting closer and closer to Belize, Central America, the Yucatan Peninsula. There's the very latest stats on it here. Winds sustained at about 70 miles per hour, so we're just 5 miles per hour shy of it becoming a hurricane. National Hurricane Center saying that could happen very, very soon. Movement to the west, right around 14 miles per hour, and they're on the bottom right of your screen is what it looks like there in Belize. You can see off in the distance some bubbling up clouds, and before long, later tonight, we could be feeling some of the impacts there. And the impacts Earl could have on Belize depend in part on its topography. Jim Cantori explains.
This is going to be a big deal for Belize City, okay? Because if it goes to the north, it keeps the winds offshore. If it comes to the south of Belize City, that rushes all that water in the tune of maybe even 4 to 6 feet if this becomes a hurricane, right into Belize City. All right, so this is a city at sea level. It's 60,000 people. It's 18,000 structures, and that's a big problem in through here. Now, thank goodness this isn't, we're looking down the barrel right now at a Category 2, potentially strengthening, but it's a storm that could become a hurricane and certainly could cause some issues in through here, especially open to the southeast. This is a big, canal they use for transportation, and that goes through right in the heart of the city. But look at how focused the concentration of buildings is in through here, guys, right on this little peninsula. A beautiful peninsula down in the country of Belize. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Jim. Meanwhile, we take our things back stateside and look at the northern plains, Bismarck, North Dakota. Not looking too bad right now. We got some blue skies overhead, quiet conditions, but this is a location we'll be concentrating on for storms. Some of those could be severe for us. So here's what it looks like right now in North Dakota. Mostly quiet, Minot down towards Bismarck. Looks like a little shower here just south of the Fargo area. That'll continue to move towards the east, but this is going to be, again, that zone that we focus in on. Here's a bit of a disturbance disturbance moving across from basically the northern Rockies into the northern plains, while at the same time at the surface, we've got a storm system that's going to be moving its way across the area. Moisture, we've got that working northward, and all that will be tracking towards the east for tomorrow. So we'll move from the northern plains with the storm threat into the upper Midwest for tomorrow with some of those stronger storms. Here's what it looks like in terms of the future radar. We'll put it into motion here for you, and we're generally looking for things to really get bubbling and going as we get in towards the late afternoon, evening hours. You can see how that all develops. 6, 7 o'clock now, we're looking at a line of showers and storms moving through the Dakotas, and then as we move into the evening hours, that starts to spread on into parts of Minnesota. So northwest Minnesota seeing some of those stronger storms as we approach the midnight hour. So anywhere in the red, we'll be concerned with strong to severe storms, damaging wind being the main threat, but some hail as well as a few isolated tornadoes. Meanwhile, we slide into the southern plains, down into Texas, Dallas. Yeah, one thing we've certainly been getting used to is that heat. If you're stepping outside for the lunch plans, well, be prepared for it. You may want to keep it in because it's just so hot. How's it looking right now across the middle of the nation? You got mid-80s here for you across the northern tier, but you start to get into those 90s as you head down towards a spot like Dallas. 89 in the Houston area, and over the next couple of hours here, storms around New Orleans, those will continue. So inside plans is your best bet there for you. Otherwise, mostly looking dry, just that heat across the southern plains into Texas. All right, well, check out some of these videos here. The question for you is, which place actually would you be thinking would be dealing with a tropical storm? Well, as you look at Marietta, I would certainly not be thinking that there. Meanwhile, we look in on Jamaica. Not so tropical storm looking, but that was the place that was dealing with it. We'll tell you while we could be looking at more storms, though, in the southeast on the way.
Let's feed him to the sharks.
Let's feed him to the sharks.
And take all of his gold.
And take all of his gold. And hide it from the crew. They're all morons anyway.
Never said that.
They all smell bad too.
No, you all smell wonderful. I smell bad.
If you're a parrot, you repeat things. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
It's what you do.
Are you missing out on life because you're putting off neck or back surgery? Call Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how a less than 1-inch incision can have you up and walking within a few hours of surgery, free from chronic back pain, and with no hospital stay and no lengthy recovery. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic conditions, call today for your no-cost MRI review.
There were times my boss would send me home because I was in excruciating pain. Going to Laser Spine Institute, I go in, I have the procedure, and walk out a changed person, good to go back to work. I can't tell you how much happier I am. It's changed my life completely.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-855-450-BACK now for your no-cost MRI review.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
Stop. Put down that paintbrush and stop throwing things out because they're faded.
What if I told you you could have a factory finish in minutes without ever painting?
Hi, Bo Riles here for Rust-Oleum Recolor by Wipe New, the award-winning coating that's easier than paint. It wipes on in seconds.
Faded blues become brilliant. Dull reds become vibrant. Every color becomes deep and luscious.
And will stay that way because Recolor repels dirt, actually repels water,
and adds UV protection. Advanced Wipe New technology works on any color, any finish, any hard surface. Now watch how wine stains the untreated side, but runs right off the Recolor side. Amazing! Watch closely as I treat this vinyl siding.
The untreated area is immediately ruined by this permanent marker, but the Recolor repels the marker and wipes right off. There's no guessing. It perfectly matches the original color because it is the original color.
Just one wipe is all it takes.
It's fast, easy to use, and a little goes a long way.
So before you buy new lawn furniture, before you throw out that tired old mailbox or those ugly dull shutters, only Recolor will make things look brand new.
Now that's a factory finish.
Rust-Oleum Recolor brings new life to your home. Imagine, no prep work, no mess, no cleanup. Just a professional finish with no brush strokes. Rust-Oleum Recolor by White New is just $19.99 and you get everything you need. A bottle of Recolor, enough for 100 square feet. 3 microfiber applicator cloths, a sponge applicator, and a tiny one for hard-to-reach places. Plus, gloves to keep your hands clean. Call right now and we'll include a 100% money-back guarantee. Plus, a special single $5 shipping and handling, no matter how many you order. Rust-Oleum Recolor by White New is just $19.99. Call now.
Call 1-800-850-1295.
Every day you get to accept things as they are or take responsibility for changing them.
The people of Flint, Michigan, it's like we don't matter.
It's such a real issue that's right in front of us.
Climate, environment, science, technology. Let's have a conversation. And together, we can solve these things.
23.5 degrees, Tuesday nights at 11 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Closed captioning brought to you by Beltone, your premier hearing care partner.
Beltone is conducting a new trial on innovative hearing technology. You will be asked to evaluate a remarkable product that's virtually invisible. Call 1-800-BELTONE.
Yep, you hear it, the wind, and that's just part of the story with Tropical Storm Earl. This is some of the video from the Cayman Islands here. Of course, just to move well to the south there, but you can hear some of the brisk winds sweeping over the water, and also whipping around some of those palm trees.
You got to admit, though, you'd still take that.
I absolutely would.
Beats the windowless room of the HD studio here at the Weather Channel any day of the week. Just saying. In any case, Earl is still gaining strength and will be a much different picture than this one as it heads towards Belize. It could actually be a hurricane before it makes landfall late on Wednesday. Thanks for sticking with us here on Weather Center Live. I'm meteorologist Mark Elliott.
And I'm meteorologist Alex Wass. Right now, still Tropical Storm Earl, but again moving its way through the western parts of the Caribbean, making its way towards Belize, the Yucatan. Some of these areas could potentially see up to a foot of rain.
Yeah.
That kind of rain, I don't care where you are, you're not going to be able to handle it. So let's check it now with Dr. Greg Postell. He's got an update.
Guys, let's look at some interesting trends on the latest satellite pictures of Tropical Storm Earl, just north of Honduras. There you go. You can see it had earlier a lot of this yellow shading to the satellite pictures indicating very tall, cold cloud tops. Those went away very quickly. In just a couple of hours' time, the cloud tops warmed, suggesting perhaps the thunderstorms in the last several hours have weakened a little bit, and maybe a new flare-up is beginning there. But that whole trend of thunderstorms flaring up and then falling down and then a couple more flaring up tells me that it's struggling a little bit, perhaps not on a significantly intensification rate here. In fact, it's probably a steady state tropical storm right now, meaning the intensity is not moving very much. What we saw a few hours ago is probably what we'll see in the next few hours. And the satellite pictures on the visible side of it show you just that. There's some cirrus clouds here. You can see all the way through down to the ocean right there. There's the new flare-up with those bright whites there. But overall, the convection is kind of scattered about the center of circulation and transient in nature, suggesting that it's probably still a 60 to 70 mile per hour tropical storm, not yet reaching that hurricane threshold. Right now on the Belize radar, we're seeing the northeast winds in place, bringing some scattered showers and some winds, perhaps as you saw in the last graphic, 10 to 20 miles per hour. But overall, what we saw in the earlier advisories, what we're seeing right now, estimated to still have winds of 70 miles per hour. The hurricane hunters are in there now and have not found winds stronger than that. pressure somewhere around or just under 990 millibars. So this advisory may hold through the 5 o'clock hour. We'll just have to wait and see. Hurricane hunters aren't done yet. But if they don't find anything surprising, then I think that advisory as a strong tropical storm will maintain itself throughout the afternoon hours. Hurricane warnings there are in place for much of parts of southern Yucatan and Central America, Belize and Belize City. Here's what I want to bring, though. Forget about the winds. We have to talk about the wind direction and exactly where the center goes, because that matters for storm surge sake. Along and just north of where the center goes, you're going to have an onshore wind. You can see that coming in about like that. This model, and it's not necessarily the most accurate one, but it's certainly part of our guidance, brings in the center south of Belize, which would bring the onshore wind perhaps 50 to 60 miles per hour, maybe more than that, and a storm surge of 3 to 5 feet to Belize. We have to watch that very closely, because if it were to move north and Belize were to get on the west wind side of it, conditions would be a lot less severe. So that is something to consider. Exactly where the center goes matters a lot as to who gets how much surge and how much wind. Once it moves inland, it becomes a rainmaker, as they all do, moving across parts of Central America and Mexico. Lots of rain along the way. And overall, guys, the track from the hurricane center brings it generally that way, and maybe even out over the Pacific Ocean early next week. Mark, back to you.
Thanks, Doc. And listen to this. That is sheets of rain. Sheets of rain coming through. That's Plant City, Florida, where so much of the produce, especially strawberries, are grown. And I mean, that is just a, garden variety thunderstorm. That's not a tropical system by any stretch coming through, but it is torrential rain. They didn't need the sprinklers on the strawberries. Look at that, just pouring down. Maybe even a downburst or microburst involved there too. You can see the wind spreading out as that kind of real burst of heavy rain came through. We could see more of that today across the southeast. We are just kind of waiting for the atmosphere to heat up a little bit more, the ground to heat and start that rising air. A couple areas of concern. We've seen some flooding in southern Illinois. We've also seen some flooding outside of New Orleans, really towards Laplace. Here's Lake Pontchartrain. Storms fired up there early this morning. Torrential rain as well as lightning, and then kind of lingering showers over Laplace for hours upon hours. Continue to give us a flash flood warning there until 12:15 local time. The moisture is still in place, right? The southerly flow coming off the Gulf, keeping things juicy out there. So it won't take much in order to give us a storm. And these kind of old boundaries, whether they're from this old front that's there or the kind of the old rain-cooled air from yesterday's storms, will be enough to just kind of lift that moisture up enough and initiate thunderstorms. In fact, the forecast really gives us kind of scattered, smothered, and covered storms here across the southeast. Everyone's got a chance of a storm today, into tomorrow, into the next day as well. Not everyone's going to see rain. It's not going to be raining all day. There'll be plenty of time to get outside, walk the dog, go for the jog without it raining on you. But where you do see the storm, there could be just torrential downpours and gusty winds, kind of like what happened at Plant City. So it's something you got to be aware of as these storms continue to fire. Alex.
All right, Mark. Meanwhile, we head northbound and more showers and storms expected here for us. Some of these could be strong to even severe. Here's the setup for the day. We got one system moving east further and further away, but here comes the next one now, sliding east from the northern plains, the Dakotas basically, and into the upper Midwest for tomorrow. And with that moisture continuing to stream northward, we're going to be dealing with more storms. Some of those, again, could pack a bit of a punch. Here's a look at the dew point readings. Moisture in the atmosphere, and yeah, you certainly notice those 70s in play. That's certainly enough juice that'll be needed for these storms to get going. But look what happened as we go through time. Look back through the Dakotas. Look at now those greens being replaced by the whites and even some of those browns. That's the drier air mass coming in behind our system. So it's going to start to feel much better for some of these areas in the northern plains and upper Midwest. As far as the storms goes, we put the radar into future mode. We look back across the plains, and later this afternoon into the evening, storms really start to fire up, and then they start to form a line here as they move to the eastern Dakotas and into Minnesota. That's when we'll be talking about the biggest risk for the damaging winds. Before they move into that line, though, we'll be talking these individual storms and cells that could produce more damaging winds, hail, and even a few isolated tornadoes. So anywhere in that red, we'll be watching closely later on today. Meanwhile, Mark, we could use some rain in the Northeast.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive how little rain there's actually been across portions of the Northeast corridor. The drought numbers, right, our deficit for the season continues to grow across portions of the northeast. That includes Buffalo. You've seen a little over 14 inches of rain. That's more than 7 inches shy of where it typically is. Hartford, Connecticut, almost 8.5 inches shy of where you normally would be, even after seeing 18.5 inches of rain. It's been reasonably dry here across the northeast. That's why much of the northeast corridor is at least abnormally dry, if not in moderate to severe drought conditions, and that has been expanding week to week. As for where we're seeing the rain, maybe interior sections of New England, notice how kind of this quadrant of upstate New York could see some rain, and we need it there, but there's not really a slam dunk forecast of good soaking rains into the northeast corridor by any stretch of the imagination, including in Boston, where the drought conditions continue to grow. There's no rain in this map, right? Mid to upper 70s, if not low to mid 80s, all the way through the weekend. Of course, one other concern, not just the drought, but in the summer, Zika virus has been expanding. We're going to give you an update on that when we come back.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Honey, is the internet back yet?
Yes!
I need to let her know that I'd like this. I'd like.
I haven't seen a movie based on a comic book in so long.
I know.
We're over here, internet people!
Get high-speed internet from AT&T with over 99% reliability at an everyday price with no extra monthly fees. Keep calm, your internet's on.
Hi, Linda. Looks like you've got a prescription to fill. The exact same drug that's $10 at this pharmacy is $150 at this one. GoodRx finds prices and discount coupons on every prescription. Just input the drug name and instantly find savings at virtually every pharmacy in America.
Here's my prescription, and I have a coupon from GoodRx.
Go to goodrx.com and compare, print, and save for free. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Print your free coupon at goodrx.com today.
Everybody has a flashlight, but can your flashlight do this? Or how about this? The Bell & Howell Tactical Flashlight can. Similar to flashlights used by elite military units, the Bell & Howell Tac Light can do things no ordinary flashlight can do. It's so bright, it can be seen up to 2 nautical miles away. And if that something that goes bump in the night turns out to be someone, only a tac light has a super bright strobe that can stun and disorient would-be attackers. A car battery will stop working in sub-zero temperatures, but even getting frozen in a block of ice couldn't make our tac light stop working. And it'll keep working when fully submerged in water, even 212-degree boiling water. It's tough enough to survive getting run over by a Humvee. Try that with a regular flashlight. Compact and lightweight, it goes where you go, so you can feel safe in dark places at night, or just have the right light for emergency situations. And there's never been a better choice for camping, fishing, or hunting. What else? 5 preset modes. It's made of high-grade aircraft aluminum. The bulb lasts 100,000 hours. I mean, there's just nothing like it on the market today. But this offer won't last long, so here's how to get yours.
Tactical flashlights of this quality are selling right now for $60 or more. But Bell & Howell has slashed their price to just $19.99, and they'll even ship it to you free. Plus, every tac light comes with a lifetime guarantee. And that's not all. Order today and you can get a second tac light. Just pay a separate fee. You can get 2 Bell & Howell tac lights backed by a lifetime guarantee for the amazing price of just $19.99 and get free shipping. Here's how to order.
To get your tac light for only $19.99 and get a second one
free. Call 1-800-972-6565 or go to trytaclight.com. This offer is not available in stores. Call 1-800-972-6565, 1-800-972-6565, or order online at trytaclight.com.
Hey, my name is Angelo, and today I start my Slim Fast plan. My weight loss goal is to lose around 30 pounds. I lost 31 pounds and 18 inches with the Slim Fast plan. The Slim Fast plan is easy. You replace 2 meals. I like having a smoothie for breakfast and a shake for lunch. You can have up to 3 100-calorie snacks, and then a good, healthy meal for dinner. You can even eat your favorite foods. Mine's pasta. This stuff really works.
Clinically proven Slim Fast. See results in just 1 week.
Important IVC medical alert. Are you at risk of serious injury? Act now to prevent it. Recent studies show IVC filters intended to stop blood clots from reaching the heart and lungs often fail, even years later, and cause internal bleeding, organ puncture, or death. Now the FDA is advising they be removed. If you have an IVC filter, you may be unaware of your injury, or you may be able to prevent it. Call now for a free consultation regarding potential compensation at 1-800-800-1102.
From the moment they wake up, doers don't stop. Every day is a chance to do something great. And for the ones they love, they do anything. Sears Optical has glasses made for doing. Right now, buy 1 pair and get another free. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
Well, the Florida Department of Health is trying to get a handle on the Zika virus. This morning, an airplane that was supposed to mist a 10-square-mile area with insecticide was grounded because of the weather. Yeah, that's unfortunate, right? Health officials say the total number of non-travel-related cases of Zika is now up to 15, and this has prompted the CDC to issue a travel warning for Miami, the first time it's urged people not to travel somewhere in the continental U.S. NBC's correspondent Carrie Sanders has more.
Overnight rain. Bad news for the Zika battle in South Florida. The spraying going on day and night, now less effective killing mosquitoes. And worse, the rain creating puddles where mosquitoes breed. The latest count, 1 new case of mosquito-transmitted infection, bringing the total number to 15. Experts now encouraging repellents like DEET for everyone here.
DEET should basically be the new perfume for Miami.
It is put our practice almost in panic.
Dr. Rebecca Martinez, an OBGYN at Miami's Mercy Hospital, sees pregnant women every day who are frightened because Zika has been linked to horrifying birth defects.
I am absolutely terrified.
Patients like Lindsay Furman, 22 weeks along, she worries constantly.
From the moment I wake up until the moment that I lay down for bed, it never stops.
We've never faced a situation like this in the 30 years that I've been practicing.
The virus is spread when a person is bitten by a mosquito with Zika and gets infected. That person travels out of the area, gets bitten again, infecting that mosquito, which then bites someone else. The virus can also be spread through sex and possibly blood transfusions. According to the CDC, Zika-carrying mosquitoes can live in about half the country. Miami Mayor Carlos Jimenez says officials are trying to stay ahead of the outbreak.
It's going to get worse before it gets better? It may, but we're doing everything in our power to make sure it doesn't get worse.
All right, so let's talk about the rainfall forecast across Florida because, of course, mosquitoes, they like to breed where you get that standing water hanging around, and that can happen when you get these downpours. Right now, just a few light showers here in the northern part of the state here, hanging out just north of Tampa, a few showers as well. But for the most part, at least right now, things are fairly quiet, but we do have quite a bit of moisture hanging around. Water vapor imagery picking that out here. Moisture indicated by some of those milky white colors that are in place. So we'll see showers and storms fire up. Typical stuff for us here as we head on through the afternoon hours here. And this will just about happen just about each and every day. At 4, 5, 6 o'clock, you can see here across the central part of the state, we'll see some of those showers and storms get going. The sea breeze gets these storms going as well. Then once we get into the overnight hours, things settling down, losing some heating of the day, it's a quieter period. How much rainfall are we anticipating to go through here? This goes through the weekend now into Sunday, and looks like here, as we work our way north of Tampa, could see a few areas that could see 3 to 5 inches of rainfall. A little bit less, though, as we slide our way southbound. So we work south of that 4 corridor, less amount of rain, maybe up to an inch possible, a spot like Miami, working up towards Orlando as well, but higher amounts here right along the west coast and then also here into the Panhandle. So here's your forecast in Miami as we head through the next couple of days. And I know we don't have any stormy icons showing up through Friday, but I would certainly not want to bet there being no rain or storms. Temperatures hanging around the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees through your Friday, Saturday as well. And again, we introduce more chances for the showers and storms. So the key here when we're talking about the mosquitoes and trying to prevent that Zika virus, of course, protecting yourself with the chemicals to sort of fend them off, but also that standing water. You want to try to get rid of that. Drain pots that are maybe outside. Check the trash cans as well. Make sure they're empty to get rid of any standing water that may be around out there for you. Heading into the Tampa area, also another spot that'll be seeing more showers and storms through the remainder of the week and heading into the weekend as well. Hit and miss out there for you, but when they hit, they'll be capable of producing some pretty heavy downpours. Mark?
Tropical rains, but no tropical systems in Florida. On the other hand, in the Caribbean, we do have Tropical Storm Earl. We're tracking who will get hit hardest by this storm as it continues its move towards the west and really tracking the pulsing of thunderstorms for the afternoon to see if we can reach hurricane status before landfall occurs. It's something that we will follow next in your full tropical update.
The following memories are brought to you by Prevagen. Your memories make you who you are, and now your ability to recall short-term details could actually improve with age. The breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain, allowing you to stay as sharp as possible, because you've got a lot of great memories to make. Powered by an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish, Prevagen is clinically shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, the name to remember.
She after our liquid gold. Whoa, she better not be. Our claim runs straight down to the gluten-free stuffing.
It's gluten.
There's gold in them there shells. Liquid gold.
A generation has grown up trusting the Weather Channel. Coming to us for the most accurate forecast.
This is all heading into your area right now.
Relying on us for the most trusted storm coverage.
We are in the height of the storm.
There is still a lot of flooding.
There's a tornado.
Whoa!
And now, choosing us as the highest-ranked TV news brand for 6 years in a row. Where you get your weather matters. So thank you for trusting the leading experts in weather.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You both have a perfect driving record.
Until one of you clips a food truck.
Then your rates go through the roof. Perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
You can mass produce a car, but you can't mass repair it. Get a $70 Bridgestone Visa prepaid card by mail with the purchase of 4 eligible tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
For lower back pain sufferers, the search for relief often leads to this. Introducing drug-free Aleve Direct Therapy, a high-intensity TENS device that uses technology once only in doctors' offices. For deep penetrating relief at the source, new Aleve Direct Therapy.
Over 40, feeling tired, losing muscle, and even romantic drive? Man up with Ageless Male. Natural ingredients clinically shown to support energy, promote muscle, and boost free testosterone.
The great thing about Ageless Male is that it works.
Man up with Ageless Male.
Good luck with the meeting today.
Thank you.
As our business is growing and you're on the road all day long, it's exhausting.
Holiday Inn has been a part of the team.
Fourth floor.
It makes life on the road much easier.
Book your next journey at holidayinn.com.
Many sleep aids have pain medicine, but ZQL is different. Because why would you take a pain medicine when all you want is good sleep? ZQL, a non-habit-forming sleep aid that's not for pain, just for sleep.
Everyone has got a dream. You know what I mean?
Hey, is this our turn? Honey, our turn?
Yeah, we go left right here.
Great adventures are still out there. We'll find them in our Subaru Outback.
Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Get 0% on select Subaru models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, now through August.
200 million watching history be made. 2 million making their own. 5 seconds gained. And a nomination won. When it counts, the biggest moments count on Comcast Business. With $5,000 of NBC coverage for the games. Over 900 miles of fiber laid for the Democratic National Convention. 40 pit stalls monitored at once for NASCAR. And 10 terabytes of data transferred for the big game at Levi's Stadium. We know what it takes to connect millions. Imagine what Comcast can do for your business.
Attention mesothelioma victims. You are entitled to financial compensation from the $30 billion Asbestos Trust Fund. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer caused by exposure to asbestos. Exposure to asbestos occurred in shipyards, the Navy, power plants, and all other trades. Decades later, you are paying the price. Don't let them get away with intentionally exposing you to harm. Mesothelioma patients, time is limited. Call 1-800-875-3000 now for a free consultation. That's 1-800-875-3000.
Calm right now.
It wasn't just a little fear.
Don't be scared.
This was a genuine phobia.
We've got an all-new Top 10, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, where we are following the satellite views and the developing tropical storm Earl there, heading towards the Yucatan Peninsula and generally towards Belize as well, which has its own issues, right? Very low elevation there.
Yeah, and that's going to be a problem here. If we can get a little bit of surge here with this thing, that could be a problem inundating parts of those low-lying spots, not to mention some gusty winds out there, and along with the heavy rain could be a problem. So yeah, this thing continuing to churn westbound here. Right now, still a tropical storm, but right on the verge of becoming a hurricane.
You know, even while we leave the visible satellite up, I want to bring in our hurricane specialist, Dr. Greg Postell, because, Doc, it looks like we're seeing some new thunderstorms, right? The sun is up, you got a beautiful view from above, and there's some kind of pulsing. Those big cloud tops are visible here.
Yeah, they're kind of sprinkled around the center of circulation. If you notice that now near where the center is, you can see some cirrus clouds there, and you can get all the way through and see, you could if you were out in space, see the ocean. So we're not seeing a cluster of thunderstorms that has basically centered itself over the rotation and I guess lasted a long time. This is a part of the sort of evolution of this system that suggests it's maybe not as well organized as it was even 24 hours ago, but still the hurricane hunters are in there and they are finding winds of about 60 to 70 miles per hour with the pressure somewhere just underneath 990 millibars. So this 11 a.m. advisory from the Hurricane Center probably will hold through the early afternoon hours. I doubt they will increase the winds, and I doubt they will lower the pressure, and we'll see how long that lasts through the remainder of the afternoon. But guys, you can see it before your very eyes. We've lost some of those bright reds in there, and we're now seeing sort of clusters of thunderstorms pop up here and there and not concentrate themselves over the center. This is another view of just the same thing that Mark was talking about, and he's exactly right. You see some thunderstorms on the leading edge of it, on the north side, on the south side, but there are some clouds here, cirrus clouds, that have no thunderstorm activity with them whatsoever, that you can see all the way down to the surface. So what we've got here is some winds that are kind of scattered around the edge there. Belize City right now, 14 miles per hour, and some scattered showers are rotating their way westward across parts of Central America. Right now, none of those are particularly intense, but they will get worse as we go through the afternoon hours as Earl closes in on that location. You can see it's important to keep in mind with this particular storm, it's not going to be so much the wind, it's going to be where the center is and where you are in relation to the amount of storm surge that you're going to get. If the center goes to the south of your particular location, There will be an onshore east wind, some piling up of some water, some storm surge, and that will be more significant on the north side of where it makes landfall than on the south side, where you have an offshore flow that's not as strong and tending to hold the water in check. Let's now zoom in and just show you some of the elevation in and around the Belize area to show you there isn't much. There isn't much. Basically, we're looking at an elevation change of about a meter, just a couple of feet all across this area. There's Belize City right in here. And imagine an onshore wind coming in. It would pile up water significantly if the center were to move on by to the south of Belize. So this is something to watch very closely. Flooding and storm surge, in my opinion, is going to be the big issue for Belize to contend with rather than the wind. We will talk much more about that all throughout the afternoon. Mark and Alex, back to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Postell. And speaking of winds here, that's basically how we classify these tropical cyclones. Anything less than 39 miles per hour, that would be considered a tropical depression. Once you move up now in levels here, getting to the 39 to 73 mile per hour range, that's a tropical storm. So that's where Earl is right now, 70 mile per hour winds. But once you get above 74, basically 75 now, that's when you become a hurricane. And again, right on the verge of that happening now. If it goes from 70 to 75, the impacts really won't be all that different. Now, if you go from 70 to 90 or 100, different story, but we aren't anticipating that here with Earl. Of course, as we continue to move through the season, we'll continue to deal with that potential for more storms as we work through August into September. That's when we get in towards that peak of the season, and then things start to ramp down end of November when the season ends. Mark?
And of course, we're tracking the storms that are on land for you too, including around the Gulf Coast. In New Orleans, for example, they got hammered early today. Will the storms still be with us? We'll show you next.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 89. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tropical storm Earl still potentially gaining strength as it heads towards Belize and Belize City. Discover if this could be the first hurricane to make landfall in the Atlantic Basin since way back in October of 2015.
And storms on land have a history of spinning up fury over water. The trouble today's storms are creating now in the south, and who else is at risk for the roughest weather today?
Welcome into Weather Center Live, everyone. I'm Mark Elliott.
And I'm Alex Wallace. Now, we've gone, get this, more than 1,050 days without a hurricane in the Gulf. I mean, we're talking 3 years.
Yeah, that on record, I believe that is the longest stretch, and it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon.
Nope, yeah, Earl, even if it were to strengthen into a hurricane, and that is a possibility, a very strong possibility, expected to stay clear of the Gulf, at least here in the near term.
And you know, as we look towards Belize, this is an area that could be dealing with Earl, right? There's a lot in play for Belize in particular, largely because of the elevation of the area and the direction that the storm is coming in from, all adding together for what could be quite the flood event on their hands.
Yeah, that's a pretty dark looking sky right now. There's the very latest stats on Tropical Storm Earl. 70 mile per hour sustained winds moving now off to the west at about 14 miles per hour. Again, basically making a run for Belize. Sometime late tonight, maybe into the overnight period, making that landfall and then tracking its way across land, dumping quite a bit of rain and the potential to maybe sneak out over the southern portions of the Bay of Campeche. We'll have to keep an eye on that late in the weekend to the early part of the weekend.
And so to break down kind of the different threats along that track, along that life cycle of our tropical system. Earl, we want to bring in hurricane specialist Carl Parker joining us now. Carl, there's a lot of risks, especially right with Belize.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's a very low-lying nation. The coastal areas, the northern 2/3 of the country, about a meter or less in elevation. So if you do get a water level rise there, it's going to be a very serious thing. We think that's a good possibility as you get a lot of wave action coming into the region, especially if the storm strengthens anymore. Right now, a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm, so it's on the cusp of becoming a hurricane. And the hurricane hunters have been out in the system flying around. What they've found is winds between 60 and 70 miles per hour, 67, 68, somewhere in there on the high end at flight level. So it's not quite a hurricane yet. And the other thing that really jumps out is that the cloud tops have been warming a little bit. We're seeing a little less of those deeper colors showing up there in the cloud tops, indicating that right now it's struggling just a little bit. It's probably taking in just a bit of dry air in the mid levels, and oftentimes you'll see these storms sort of wax and wane, come up and down in intensity, but there certainly is a chance that it will be a hurricane as it makes landfall, and that's probably going to be very late tonight or into the early morning hours. So there's the forecast track and intensities from the Hurricane Center, looking for it to strengthen to a hurricane before it makes landfall, and then coming in again very late tonight and slowly coming across parts of southeast Mexico, and then perhaps coming back out into the Gulf of Mexico, at which time it may re-strengthen, but it may also bury itself in Mexico and really weaken dramatically as it does so. There's a look at the advisories now in effect. Tropical storm warnings in effect here, and hurricane warnings also right along the coast there in Belize. There's the satellite picture, and again you see that trend with a little less of that deeper red color. So not strengthening, at least not right now, but it certainly could continue to strengthen going into tonight. And looking at the visible satellite picture and the winds right now, they're not that strong along the coast, but that is going to change dramatically into tonight. We're getting some showers also now moving into parts of Belize, but the real action is going to be, we think, late this evening Eastern time and the early morning hours. And that's the model forecast showing you how we see a developing eyewall. I think this particular high-resolution model doing a very good job of representing the structure of the storm. Very well-formed storm there into late tonight that continues to move inland, producing a lot of heavy rain in mountainous terrain there. And as that wind moves in, what it's going to do is start generating a lot of wave action, and that wave action is going to cause a water level rise. And so that, I think, could be one of the biggest issues there in Belize City in particular. Mark, over to you.
Thank you, Carl. We're also tracking storms on land, including in and around the New Orleans area. In New Orleans, the winds are whipping through, which is actually helping to dry out the pavements because it was raining through much of your morning and early afternoon. As storms started the day, there were 2,500 lightning strikes in just a 15-minute window. The storm blew up from almost nothing to a huge lightning-producing storm, as well as a tornado warning for a time in St. Charles Parish. None of those severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings left, but we still have lingering rain over Laplace. It's been raining here all day, and there's still a flash flood warning for St. John's the Baptist as well as St. James parishes because of that rain. The wide view shows you that we're just kind of waiting, and this is the beginning. You see storms starting to pop now, Mississippi into Alabama. We have enough daytime heating now that we're getting enough rising motion to tap into all of this moisture, which just continues to pour in from the Gulf of Mexico, right? That southerly flow has been there for days. And then the question is, where are these old boundaries going to set up? Where are the old outflow boundaries and the rain-cooled air from the past couple of nights of storms? Those will initiate new thunderstorms today. So as we run the high-resolution modeling here in the southeast, we can show you the kind of popcorn nature of these storms, scattered, smothered, and covered around the southeast. Almost everyone has at least the chance of a storm today, and although not everyone's going to see one, where you do, there could be torrential rains and gusty winds. Alex, over to you.
All right, Mark, meanwhile, we had westbound, and yeah, we're dealing with storms and very wet aftermath. Look at it here as we look towards the southwest. Here's some of the heavy rain in Arizona. It was coming down, and this was the result in Gold Canyon. East of Phoenix and southwest there of the Superstition Mountains, you saw some big-time rains, and this was the result here. That water moving extremely fast. Can you imagine trying to cross that? It's not going to happen. I can promise you that area was more of a trickle before that rain took place. So getting hit with the flooding rains, and that is something that we may have to deal with here as we head on through the rest of today into tomorrow and even towards our Friday as well. Flash flood watches anywhere in the green, we have them. Slow-moving storms, and a lot of those storms hanging around and moving pretty slowly. The result could be flash flooding. Mark?
All right, so we're going to be sticking with the water rise risk here as we continue on Weather Center Live. Not only the monsoon risk for flooding there, but a different type of water rise for the coastal areas of the U.S. and how one company that analyzes your home and your home pricing could say that millions of homes and billions of dollars could be lost to climate change. We're going to break that down for you, as well as the severe storm threat across the northern tier when we come back.
Life looks great with Tampax Pearl. Its built-in backup braid helps stop leaks by channeling them back into the core, giving you the best protection at home and on the go. Tampax, power over periods.
There's nothing more important than your health or the freedom to choose what doctor you want to see. So if you have Medicare Parts A and B, consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare supplement insurance plans, these let you choose any doctor who accepts Medicare patients. You're not stuck in a network because there aren't any. Plus, these plans help cover some of the Part B medical expenses Medicare doesn't pay. So why wait? Call now to request your free decision guide and find the AARP Medicare supplement plan that works for you. Like all Medicare supplement plans, you'll be able to stay with a doctor or specialist you trust or look for someone new, as long as they accept Medicare patients. But unlike other plans, these are the only ones of their kind endorsed by AARP. Rates are competitive, so call today and learn more about choosing the doctors you'd like to see. Go long.
You found the love of your dreams, and together, you had the kid of your dreams. Now you can put them in the car of your dreams for a lot less than you might think. With a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can enjoy legendary safety, innovation, and performance at a price you can afford. And that's a pretty sweet dream. Visit the certified pre-owned sales event now through August 31st, only at your authorized dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Every day you get to accept things as they are or take responsibility for changing them.
The people of Flint, Michigan, it's like we don't matter.
It's such a real issue that's right in front of us.
Climate, environment, science, technology. Let's have a conversation. And together, we can solve these things.
23.5 degrees, Tuesday nights at 11 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 79. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It wasn't just a little fear.
Don't be scared.
This was a genuine phobia.
We've got an all-new Top 10, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Welcome to HelloFresh. We create the most delicious step-by-step recipes, source the freshest ingredients in just the right quantities, and deliver them straight to your door. To get $20 off your first box, go to HelloFresh.com and use promo code TV.
Hi, Linda. Looks like you've got a prescription to fill. The exact same drug that's $10 at this pharmacy is $150 at this one. GoodRx finds prices and discount coupons on every prescription. Just input the drug name and instantly find savings at virtually every pharmacy in America.
Here's my prescription, and I have a coupon from GoodRx.
Go to GoodRx.com and compare, print, and save for free. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Print your free coupon at GoodRx.com today.
Important IVC medical alert. Are you at risk of serious injury? Act now to prevent it. Recent studies show IVC filters intended to stop blood clots from reaching the heart and lungs often fail, even years later, and cause internal bleeding, organ puncture, or death. Now the FDA is advising they be removed. If you you have an IVC filter, you may be unaware of your injury, or you may be able to prevent it. Call now for a free consultation regarding potential compensation at 1-800-800-1102.
Well, check out the mess you woke up to in El Paso, Texas. It was a canal that topped its bank and sent knee-high water into some homes. Now, officials believe piles of debris may have helped them send that water into homes. Families in the area have had to evacuate. And that, well, is just one example of flooding the Southwest is struggling with right now. Jenna Carfagno shows us what the increased rains are doing in the region.
Hey, Phoenix Police, Highway Patrol, come get us out of here, please.
Monsoon storms make a mess of the evening commute in Phoenix. These are drivers on Interstate 17 last night before the Arizona Department of Transportation closed the highway. Around 3 inches of rain overwhelmed parts of the valley. One spot in Phoenix reported a rainfall rate at 1 inch in 30 minutes. Enough water to strand cars. The National Weather Service calls the storm a 100-year event, meaning that much rain has a 1% chance of happening in any year in a specific location. 130 miles southeast of Phoenix, floodwaters also spurted across roads in Tucson. Widespread areas of the city reporting 2 inches of rain. In the Santa Rita foothills south of Tucson, roads gushed with floodwaters. 2 high schools in Pima County evacuated as a precaution Tuesday. Road crews called in to get mud and rocks off highways. In Texas, a slow-moving thunderstorm quickly filled a canal in El Paso, leaving nearby yards covered with muck.
I step on the ground. Literally, I step into at least shin-high water from my bedroom, from my bed to the floor. And I stepped on the floor. I was like, oh, I already knew what happened. I already knew what happened because it happened 4 years ago.
The muddy water invaded several El Paso homes, a nasty mess left behind to clean up.
The kids' playroom. The kids' playroom.
I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno.
Oh, what a mess. Now, right now, as we look at things here in the Southwest, there are a few spotty showers and storms. We've been watching this area around Flagstaff, starting to lose a bit of its intensity here. Those yellows decreasing a bit, but still some wet weather around. And here, as we work just to the north and east of Phoenix, one storm that has been hanging around, not moving much at all, sort of almost regenerating here over the same area. Flash flood warning now in effect. And that's what we could see as we work our way through the rest of the afternoon. These storms that bubble up and then they don't move very much, sitting over some of the same areas, dumping some of that rain, and could lead to more flash flooding problems. So as we head through the evening hours, still seeing those showers and storms throughout the Four Corners region. Vegas, you could get in some of this wet weather as well. And even as we get in towards the overnight period, after midnight, there's still some rain hanging around out there. So it's not just sort of in and out, it's hanging around out there for you. Through Friday into the evening, how much rain are we talking about? A general swath of about 1 to 2 inches here for us, with some pockets of 2 to 3, and even those yellow areas that show up 3 to 5 inches, and it's really in those areas that we'll be most concerned with. But anywhere here we see those downpours, it could become quite problematic out there for you. So because of that, we've got flash flood watches that are out pretty much across the entire Four Corners region. If you see the ponding on those roads, please turn around, don't drown. Mark?
And, you know, parts of the east have been slammed by flooding this week. Yesterday, we were talking about Norfolk, Virginia, and the Hampton Roads area that saw roadways covered in water after storms came through. That water lashed over lawns and up to houses. And if one group that tracks homes and home prices is right, we could see more of this in coastal areas. If you've bought a house recently, you know the company Zillow. Well, they're making some startling predictions about the impacts that a changing climate could have on homes by the turn of the next century, including that sea level rise of the 6 feet that's projected by 2100 would mean 2 million U.S. homes would be underwater. That's a loss of about 2% of the nation's entire housing stock. More than that, 36 coastal cities would be completely underwater, with 300 cities losing at least half of their homes. Now, in that, you got to think tropics, right? Florida is the #1 losing city. 1 in 8 homes, or state I should say, 1 in 8 homes would be lost, with over $400 billion of loss there. Of course, other coastal areas like New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, and California would have big losses as well. Just one more impact that a changing climate could have on our future.
My mom loves giving me advice. She even gives me advice about my toothpaste and mouthwash. But she's a dentist, so I kind of have to listen. She said, Jen, go pro with Crest Pro Health Advanced.
Advanced to healthier gums and stronger teeth from day one.
Crest toothpaste and mouthwash makes my I feel awesome, and my teeth are stronger too.
Crest Pro Health Advanced is superior to Colgate Total in these 5 areas dentists check.
This checkup, so good.
Go Pro with Crest Pro Health Advanced.
Mom's right. Again.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm going to lose 15 pounds with SlimFast. Guess what? I didn't. I didn't just lose 15 pounds. I lost 34 pounds on the SlimFast plan. It's easy. I have a shake for breakfast and a smoothie for lunch. 3 100-calorie snacks, and then a 500-calorie meal. You can even eat your favorite foods. I love burgers. This is definitely better.
Clinically proven SlimFast. See results in just 1 week.
The day after chemo, you could be home with your support system. Here, here, and here with Neulasta Onpro.
Strong chemo can put you at risk for infection. In a key study, Neulasta reduced the risk of infection from 17% to 1%, a 94% decrease. Apply the day of chemo. Neulasta Onpro is designed to automatically deliver Neulasta the next day without returning to the doctor just for a Neulasta shot. Neulasta is for certain cancer patients receiving strong chemotherapy. Do not take Neulasta if you're allergic to Neulasta or Neupogen, filgrastim. Ruptured spleens, sometimes fatal, as well as serious lung problems, allergic reactions, kidney injuries, and capillary leak syndrome have occurred. Report abdominal or shoulder tip pain, trouble breathing, or allergic reactions to your doctor right away. In patients with sickle cell disorders, serious, sometimes fatal crises can occur. The most common side effect is bone and muscle ache.
Talk to your doctor about Neulasta Onpro.
Every day you get to accept things as they are or take responsibility for changing them.
The people of Flint, Michigan, it's like we don't matter.
It's such a real issue that's right in front of us.
Climate, environment, science, technology. Let's have a conversation. And together, we can solve these things.
23.5 degrees, Tuesday nights at 11 on the weather.
My name is Renee Ward.
Tony Orlando.
And this is my mailbox confession.
What do you do?
I am a CPA.
I sell fitness equipment. I have a secret.
What's your secret?
You've got to have an address, and this is mine. Plus?
The packing, the shipping, laminations.
The printing. Mailbox, paperwork. If word got out, everyone would know.
We have a pretty big sign out front.
I confess, I don't know what I'd do without you.
Real small business owners count on the UPS store.
Tuesday on Travel Channel.
You see me coming, but you can't stop me.
Picky eaters. Pick it up.
If it looks good, eat it.
Everywhere Andrew goes.
Wow.
I have found my happy place.
There's something for everyone.
This is exciting.
Bizarre Foods, Tuesday at 9, only on Travel Channel.
Brought to you locally by AutoNation, online at AutoNation.com.
It wasn't just a little fear.
Don't be scared.
This was a genuine phobia.
We've got an all-new Top 10, Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 79. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tropical storm Earl continues to make its way towards Central America and the Yucatan Peninsula. On the left side of the screen, the visible satellite imagery as our storm continues to churn its way towards the west. On the right, brand new images coming into us here at the Weather Channel. Some of the outer bands already along the coast and moving inland through Belize. You're seeing that kind of ominous sky. Now on the left, kind of the current stats with the enhanced satellite, the brighter colors, the colder cloud tops. We would be looking for those big blowups of pinks near the center and in a kind of symmetrical shape to show quick strengthening, we don't have that right now. We've got kind of scattered thunderstorms around that low pressure center. Winds holding fairly steady now, near 70 miles per hour. Current movement still to the west, about 14 miles per hour. That said, the low clouds are there. An ominous view with more rain and more wind and potentially more storm surge flooding to come. In fact, let's talk more about that. The impacts that Earl could have on Belize depend in part on the topography there, as Jim Cantori explains.
This is going to be a big deal for Belize City, okay? Because if it goes to the north, it keeps the winds offshore. If it comes to the south of Belize City, that rushes all that water in the tune of maybe even 4 to 6 feet if this becomes a hurricane, right into Belize City. All right, so this is a city at sea level. It's 60,000 people. It's 18,000 structures, and that's a big problem in through here. Now, thank goodness this isn't, we're looking down the barrel right now at a Category 2, potentially strengthening, but it's a storm that could become a hurricane and certainly could cause some issues in through here, especially open to the southeast. This is a big, canal they use for transportation, and that goes through right in the heart of the city. But look at how focused the concentration of buildings is in through here, guys, right on this little peninsula. A beautiful peninsula down in the country of Belize. Guys, back to you.
And Jim, thanks for finally giving me my shirt back. Just saying. Good choice today. In any case, we're also watching the northern tier for more storm development over the next couple of hours, really. The sun is out in North Dakota. The skies are clear. People are out and about driving through. Construction site right there. Here's the thing. As we go through the rest of the day, there will be a much better chance of storms to pop up. We've seen a little bit of storminess in southeastern North Dakota into Minnesota, and just a hint of what's to come here in western portions of the Dakotas. Nothing like what we could see later on this afternoon. We're still waiting for the kicker to come in, right? This is the jet stream flow. The upper level winds will provide the upper air support, a little bit of an extra upper level disturbance sliding in as well. Once these storms get going, they're going to be able to tap into those fast moving winds and really get organized later on today. So we've got this next system that's entering from the high plains and kind of southern Canada, tapping into that warm, moist air that's been pumping in over the past couple of days. And as this moves towards the east, we're still going to be dealing with storms kind of along this front and all the way through and into the Great Lakes too. So as we kind of take all that together, right, we get to look at the high-resolution modeling. Here's that morning convection, which tries to continue, but look what happens out to the west. Big-time storms and then a lineup of storms that move their way through the Dakotas and northern Nebraska, into Minnesota, potentially Iowa, as we go into the nighttime hours. This is the area of concern for today. We're talking very gusty winds, large hail potential, as well as an isolated tornado threat anywhere that is colored in red here, especially as we get that organized storm chance marching east through the rest of the day. So that's something that we have to carefully watch through tonight. As we go through the next couple of days, that'll move east along with that hail threat. Now, let's take a look towards the west a bit. It is about to be lunch hour here for the mountain time zones. We want to give you a quick look, not only at Flagstaff, which has been dealing with some showers with the monsoon storms nearby, but really what we can expect throughout the Intermountain West as you head out the door. If you're going out for lunch right now in Denver, it looks great. Sunshine, upper 80s. There will be an increased chance of storms here through the lower four corners. So if you're, got quiet skies as you leave the office, keep in mind that run back inside could get a little bit dicey. Otherwise, pretty quiet in the west. We'll be right back.
Marco Polo! Marco Polo! Marco Polo! Marco Polo! Marco
Sì.
Polo! Marco Polo!
Scusa?
Polo!
Ma io sono Marco Polo, ma...
Playing Marco Polo with Marco Polo? Surprising.
Ragazzini, io sono Marco Polo. Sì, sono qui.
What's not surprising? How much money Amanda and Keith saved by switching to Geico.
Ah, Polo? Polo?
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Polo?
Everybody has a flashlight, but can your flashlight do this? Or how about this? The Bell & Howell Tactical Flashlight can. Similar to flashlights used by elite military units, the Bell & Howell Tac Light can do things no ordinary flashlight can do. Look, this civilian flashlight puts out pathetic light, but our military-grade Tac Light, that's 22 times as bright. It's so bright, it can be seen up to 5 nautical miles away. And if that something that goes bump in the night turns out to be someone, only a Tac Light has a super bright strobe that can stun and disorient would-be attackers. A car battery will stop working in sub-zero temperatures, but even getting frozen in a block of ice couldn't make our Tac Light stop working. and it'll keep working when fully submerged in water, even 212-degree boiling water. It's tough enough to survive getting run over by a Humvee. Try that with a regular flashlight. Compact and lightweight, it goes where you go, so you can feel safe in dark places at night or just have the right light for emergency situations. And there's never been a better choice for camping, fishing, or hunting. What else? 5 preset modes. It's made of high-grade aircraft aluminum. The bulb lasts 100,000 hours. I mean, there's just nothing like it on the market today. Here's how to get yours.
Tactical flashlights of this quality are selling right now for $60 or more. But Bell & Howell has slashed their price to just $19.99, and they'll even ship it to you free. Plus, every tack light comes with a lifetime guarantee. Want even more? Call now and you can get a second tack light. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
To get your tack light for only $19.99 and get a second one free, call 1-800-691-3975 or go to trytaclight.com. This offer is not available in stores, so call 1-800-691-3975. That's 1-800-691-3975 or order online at trytaclight.com. 1-800-691-3975.
You know, there's a fast, easy way to borrow with risecredit.com. So check this out. $500 to $5,000 in your account as soon as tomorrow. I mean, Rise even lets you choose your own terms, with rates that actually go down over time. That's pretty cool. Rise even offers a 5-day risk-free guarantee. The application, quick and easy, so you can apply with confidence. Speaking of, yep, that's the stuff. Tomorrow's looking up at risecredit.com.
Hello, welcome to the Holiday Inn.
Running our own business, we've been traveling a lot.
A hotel looking to help small businesses succeed is incredible. Holiday Inn is an extension of our team.
Book your next journey at holidayinn.com.
Every day you get to accept things as they are or take responsibility for changing them.
The people of Flint, Michigan, it's like we don't matter.
It's such a real issue that's right in front of us.
Climate, environment, science, technology. Let's have a conversation. And together, we can solve these things.
23.5 degrees, Tuesday nights at 11 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 79. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Weather Center Live. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm meteorologist Mark Elliott.
And I'm meteorologist Alex Wallace. Right now, still dealing with Tropical Storm Earl, making its way through the western parts of the Caribbean, making a run for Belize, looking more and more likely that's going to be the area feeling the brunt of the system. But we could be seeing areas there in the Yucatan. 12 inches of rain, certainly a possibility out there. So let's check it now with our hurricane specialist, Carl Parker. He's got a bit of an update on what's happening with this system.
One of the big worries with this storm is the fact that Belize is such a low-lying nation. A lot of the coastline is at 1 meter in elevation or lower. That's just about 3 feet. And so if we get even a modest water level rise with waves crashing over one another, that could be enough to really flood a lot of parts of Belize, including Belize City, which we'll take a look at here in just a moment. So right now we're looking at a strong tropical storm, 70-mile-per-hour storm. You notice that the cloud tops are not showing as many of those sort of deeper colors in just the last few images there. So we're seeing a little bit of warming in the cloud tops there, indicating the storm is undergoing some waning, and you'll see that kind of thing, the sort of waxing and waning in the intensity and the intensity of the convection or thunderstorms. Also has slowed considerably since yesterday, now moving west at 14 miles per hour, and we expect that general motion to continue, and that's going to bring it into Belize late tonight and into the early morning hours Eastern time. So looking at the latest hurricane forecast here from the Hurricane Center, you notice that they do take it up to a hurricane, a Category 1 hurricane, as it's approaching Belize, and then it's very quickly going to weaken. And then the big question after that is just how much interaction with land is there if it's on the southernmost part of this track. Some of the models suggesting it may bury itself in Mexico, in which case it's going to weaken very rapidly. But if it does come back out, it will have some opportunity to re-strengthen, but not a whole lot. So hurricane warnings now in effect for parts of Mexico as well as Belize, and also these Bay Islands here that extend just north of Honduras. In fact, they're really going to get walloped in the next few hours. It's already beginning to happen. Some squally weather already starting to come in there. We don't have a lot of observations from this part of the world, and we're not seeing a whole lot of wind now in Belize City, but that's really going to be coming up, we think, later tonight as the core of the system begins to move in. Now, this is what is called microwave imagery, and it's storm relative, so we are moving along with the storm. And there you see the developing eyewall right in there. You see sort of a horseshoe shape in the last frame there, indicating the eyewall is open off to the west, and most of the weather is showing up on the east side of the circulation. That's the way it's been over the last couple of days, but it's definitely becoming more organized. When you see that eyewall structure, you know that it's on its way to being a hurricane. And the model forecast showing you very well-defined eyewall structure starting to approach the coast later tonight, and then again moving in, we think, overnight tonight, and producing a lot of wind. And it may not be in a very good position relative to Belize City in particular. That's home to about 60,000 people. Very low-lying city. It actually juts out into the water. And there are some atolls here that will mitigate some of the wave action. There's also a very steep continental shelf, so surge is not going to be as much of an issue, as is what's called wave run-up and wave setup, as each wave comes in and a wave comes in on top of that raises the water level. And when you've got this really profound onshore flow, that's where all the wave energy is going to be directed. And again, with such low elevations, that could easily cause some very serious flooding. So I think that's going to be the biggest worry in Belize City come late tonight. There certainly could be some structural damage as well, as you've got very strong winds coming in, and that'll continue right through the overnight hours. Mark, Alex, over to you.
Thank you, Carl. As Central America is preparing, we want to bring you exactly what we know right now, including the newest advisory just came in with very little changing. Still 70-mile-per-hour winds, moving west at 14, and still strengthened to become a borderline hurricane, a low-end hurricane before landfall. So because of that, in Belize, the airport is closing. The parks are closed as well, the national parks. Cruise ship calls have been canceled for the rest of the week there also. Meanwhile, in Honduras, the president has canceled school classes there in 7 provinces that are bordering the Atlantic because of the issues that we've seen with the storm moving through. Now, it's not the only tropical weather that we have. Listen to this. Believe it or not, this is not a tropical, organized entity, but plenty of deep tropical moisture. Plant City, Florida, where so many of our strawberries come from this time of year, that might have been a downburst, right? Just intense rain and wind. You could see it moving out in all directions, really pouring down there. That's the kind of storm that we could see again today across much of the southeast, because we have just so much moisture coming up from the Gulf. We've had our fair share of storms already today, and they're really starting to fill in coverage across the southeast. One good note is that the flash flood warnings that were around Laplace for the whole morning and the beginning of the afternoon have finally been discontinued. There's still some rain nearby, but it's much lighter than it was a couple of hours ago. That said, we still have this southerly flow bringing all the moisture in from the Gulf of Mexico. These old boundaries are still in place across the southeast, and we still have kind of those old kind of outflow zones, which act almost like mini fronts to kick up storms for the rest of today. So we still have popcorn storms in the forecast through much of the southeast. And although the whole map isn't covered in green, and even where it is green, it's not going to be raining all day, many of you, if not all of you, have the chance of seeing scattered storms over the next couple of days at just about every point in the afternoon. For tomorrow, maybe focused in South Georgia and the Carolinas and into North Florida, maybe a little bit of enhancement there. But again, much of the southeast has that chance for stormy weather. The worst of the drought conditions for the southeast southeast are northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and north Georgia. And you notice even through Friday, that's not exactly where the best chance for rain will be. As we roll this through Friday afternoon, the better chance of the heavier rain and the storms that kind of get stuck for a bit will be further south from that drought zone. And where it's been really dry, you might get missed out. And so we'll have to just continue to monitor that as the days go on, Alex.
All right, Mark. Meanwhile, we move to the northern tier of the country and more storms impacting us here. One system, we say goodbye to that, but we have to say hello to the next one. Moves across the Dakotas into the upper Midwest. We've got that moisture streaming northward, all the ingredients necessary for some of these storms to get going. Now, we look at the dew point readings here this early part of the afternoon, and moisture in the atmosphere, those 70s, yeah, you feel it. That is for sure. But look what happens. Look to the west. You see those browns and whites starting to take over. That's the drier air mass coming in behind our storm system. So we're going to bring in some drier air as we head towards the end of the week. It's going to feel a little bit better here for you in terms of the humidity across the upper Midwest. But we've got to deal with storms first. We put the radar into future mode, starting to get going here later this afternoon and evening here. South Dakota, North Dakota, and then spreading east as we move in towards the late night. We're talking after midnight now, getting into Minnesota and tracking its way towards the Arrowhead there. So anywhere in the red, we'll be concerned with these storms damaging wind, hail, even a few isolated tornadoes. Now, Mark, we head farther east, we could use a bit of rain.
Yeah, and we've been really hard pressed to get it this year, even though we've had a couple of spectacular rainy moments, like the storms that came through New Jersey and New York last week. On the whole, much of the Great Lakes in the Northeast Corridor has been actually really dry this year. Some of the deficits approaching 8 to 9 inches of rain, including places like Buffalo and Hartford, Connecticut, could really use more precipitation coming in. Now, on the whole, as you see, the Northeast Corridor has at least some sort of drought, either modestly dry or a moderate to severe drought conditions, which continue to bubble in. As for the rainfall this week, despite that system coming across the northern tier with severe weather starting off later on today in the Dakotas, it really falls apart as it gets towards the northeast. So maybe interior sections will see some rain, but certainly not a lot. And it doesn't get all the way to the coast. The Boston area needs more rain. And look at this forecast. Sunshine and warmth all the way through the weekend, Alex.
All right, Mark. Well, the summer months, they are turning into a wet one for people out in the Southwest. How much more rain they will get before the end of the week is over, we'll tell you next. And as we take a look into the Gulf coastal states, a spot like New Orleans, we've seen our fair share of rain earlier this morning. Big boomer hit us around town. Things have settled down a bit for you at this hour. How long will that threat for the rain last? We'll give you the update next.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High 89, chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 79. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for better car replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Tired of trying to hide your belly bulge, muffin top, or that beer gut? Now there's a fun, effective, and easy way to get fit and toned in just minutes a day with the Simply Fit board. It's got everyone twisting and getting you into your fat-burning zone.
It's so fun, I don't feel like I'm working out.
I'm Lori Grenier from Shark Tank.
I like being toned, but I'm not big into working out and sweating. That's why I fell in love with the Simply Fit board. The minute I saw it, I knew it was a hero, and I did the deal so we could bring it to all of you.
You'll feel it working instantly. The secret is its unique twisting motion and balance board pivoting action that engages your entire core, helping tone abs, legs, and your entire body, all while having fun. You can get started with as little as 5 minutes a day. Do it anytime, anywhere. Do it while watching TV. This is a great workout for everyone, no matter your age.
It's low impact and easy on the joints. And look at me, I'm 64 and in better shape than I've been in years.
I love feeling my muscles working because it feels like I'm working and I'm just burning fat away, and who doesn't want to burn fat away?
The Simply Fit board can help trim your waistline, engage your entire core, and improve your balance. The Simply Fit board is so durable it holds up to 400 pounds, and it's lightweight, portable, and stores away easily. Call or go online now to get your Simply Fit board for only $39.99. Plus, you'll also get the Simply Fit workout DVD with 3 full body exercise routines. And here's our 100% risk-free guarantee. If you don't feel it working in just 60 seconds, send it back for a full refund of the purchase price. We'll even pay the return shipping.
Now that's a great deal. And that's how sure I am that you will absolutely love your Simply Fit board.
Simply Fit rocks!
To order the Simply Fit board for $39.99 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-748-3126 or order online at simplyfitboard.com.
Hi, Linda. Looks like you've got a prescription to fill. The exact same drug that's $10 at this pharmacy is $150 at this one. GoodRx finds prices and discount coupons on every prescription. Just input the drug name and instantly find savings at virtually every pharmacy in America.
Here's my prescription, and I have a coupon from GoodRx.
Go to goodrx.com and compare, print, and save for free. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Print your free coupon at goodrx.com today.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you are struggling to afford the medical costs not covered by Medicare, you can now call the Medicare Coverage Helpline. The Medicare Coverage Helpline can find out if you qualify for a Medicare supplement or other benefits like dental or vision coverage. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now and get what you're entitled to. Call now. It's free.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Even with your Medicare coverage, the cost for copays, deductibles, and other benefits like eyeglasses and dental work can cost you a lot of money. Don't spend money you don't have to spend. So many people don't get what they're entitled to because they just don't call. Take my advice. Call now. It's free.
Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline and get the MedSup and dental coverage you may be entitled to. Don't delay. Call now so the next time you're asked for a copay or have to pay for other benefits yourself, like eyeglasses and dental visits, it now may be covered. Call now. It's free. 800-379-0894. That's 800-379-0894. Call now.
Well, welcome back. We got some breaking news here as we continue to track things in the Southwest, particularly there in the California, Yolo County here. We got a fire here. Actually, it doubled in size overnight. This is not too far from Napa, and you can clearly see the flames that are going, quite a bit of smoke as well. Looks like at this point over sort of a wide open area, tough to tell. Looks like the camera's trying to zoom out a bit here, but at this point, fire is still burning here. Again, this is in Yolo County, not too far from Napa. We'll try to get you more details on the situation, how much is contained here as the firefight continues there in Yolo County. Meanwhile, we go from the fire to too much rain, and that's what we've seen across parts of the Southwest, getting hit pretty hard. On the left, you got Phoenix, Arizona, and the water rushing here through the streets, and what we tell you not to do, people trying to cross and roll through that flooded water. It can be a dangerous situation here. Meanwhile, on the right, you got a live picture of Tucson, Arizona. Clouds certainly have bubbled up here for us, and we're in line to deal with more showers as well as storms. In fact, that's the situation across a good chunk of the Southwest, and Mark's got the reason why.
Yeah, you know, we've got this monsoon, this wind shift that has brought the moisture back into play here across the Southwest. It has been bubbling up some thunderstorms as of late, including some that are extremely slow moving, giving us some flash flooding outside the Phoenix area, well outside the Phoenix area. The modeling here doing a good job and hinting that we're going to see significantly more storms as we go through the afternoon hours, right? We're talking about northern and eastern portions of Arizona. Look how much it fills in. Also potentially Vegas to Salt Lake City, the Colorado Rockies, northern New Mexico. This is now going even into the overnight hours. There is a potential for some kind of long-lasting thunderstorm activity today, which is just now starting to fire up. As we go through not only the rest of today, but the next couple of days, we're talking about several inches of rain. Now, we're already talking about rain earlier in the week outside Tucson that brought us some flooding. We had flash flood warnings in eastern portions of Arizona the past couple of days. On top of that, on top of the kind of the saturated desert grounds now, 1 to 2, if not 3 to 5 inches of rain additionally will cause more flash flooding. Plus, the desert Southwest, it's the sandy soil. When it's baked down long enough without this rain, it acts basically like concrete. And if you get a burst of rain, it doesn't soak in. It just rushes right off the top anyway. That's why we've got flash flood watches up for almost everyone here across Arizona into New Mexico, southern portions of Utah and Colorado, and even as far west as Vegas and portions of California, now underneath that flash flood watch as well. Unfortunately, not bringing that rain towards that fire zone where Alex was showing us just about a minute ago. That's actually burning closer to this, the heart of the drought, right? We need more rain further towards the west, Alex, but unfortunately, the monsoon showers will help out, but not in the worst of the drought conditions.
Yeah, you said it here. So let's talk about this monsoon and how it all sets up out there for us. Here's the Southwest. Remember, we always talk about how hot it can be here, baking hot conditions here to deal with. Well, all that heat creates a rising motion in the atmosphere. So you got rising air and low pressure actually forms. We call that a thermal low. That helps to actually draw some moisture northward here from the Gulf of California. At the same time, you get a little bit of moisture sneaking in from the Gulf of Mexico. That's coming in with this high that develops. Counterclockwise flow brings in the moisture into the southwest, and with just a little bit of heating, we get the clouds to form. Eventually, the showers and thunderstorms get going as well, and they are capable of producing some pretty heavy downpours and leads to flooding situations, quite a bit of a mess. Some of these showers and storms can also produce quite a bit of lightning and also lead to dust storms. So you get all the above in the southwest, all thanks to the summer monsoon. Mark?
Meanwhile, we're also watching Tropical Storm Earl churning its way through the Caribbean. We will be tracking who will get hit the hardest by this storm as it moves its way towards the west. A couple more hours, about 10 to 12 more, I should say, before this officially makes landfall. A beeline now towards Belize, a very low elevation country there. That has its own risks, including storm surge flooding, which we'll break down in your tropical update next.
One of life's greatest pleasures is a home-cooked meal. So I'm really excited to be teaming up with HelloFresh. We're making it even easier to cook great meals from scratch. Beautiful. Now you can get my recipes and the exact ingredients that you need to cook them delivered in a chilled box direct to your door. We've done all the hard work for you. Now you've got the fun part. Order online at hellofresh.com today and get cooking.
We both work a lot. We're looking for a way to keep an eye on things at home.
You know, get more connected. Sure, check out the Ring Home Security Kit. You get a Ring Video doorbell so you'll never miss a visitor. Hello? Got a delivery here. Thanks. You can leave it by the door. And 2 stick-up cams make it easier than ever to keep an eye on things when you're away.
Did you see that, Mom? Nice shot, Harry.
Ring keeps you connected like never before.
Get the Ring Home Security Kit today, only at Best Buy.
We know you have a morning routine. We have one too. 7 days a week, AMHQ is right here and weather ready.
Let me get you ready for the day weather-wise. We've got a lot going on this morning.
Definitely see what kind of pattern we've had. So start your morning routine with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, Jan Carfagna, and the rest of AMHQ. It is a team here at the Weather Channel and an awesome team at that.
Let's get right to what you want, and that is the weather.
AMHQ, every morning starting at 5 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 79. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Honey, is the internet back yet?
Yes!
I need to let her know that I'd like this. I'd like.
I haven't seen a movie based on a comic book in so long.
I know.
We're over here, internet people!
Get high-speed internet from AT&T with over 99% reliability at an everyday price with no extra monthly fees. Keep calm, your internet's on.
My mom loves giving me advice. She even gives me advice about my toothpaste and mouthwash. But she's a dentist, so I kind of have to listen. She said, Jen, go pro with Crest Pro Health Advanced.
Advanced to healthier gums and stronger teeth from day one.
Using Crest toothpaste and mouthwash makes my whole mouth feel awesome. And my teeth are stronger, too.
Crest Pro Health Advanced is superior to Colgate Total in these 5 areas dentists check.
This checkup, so good.
Go pro with Crest Pro Health Advanced.
Mom's right. Again.
There's nothing more important than your health or the free choose what doctor you want to see. So if you have Medicare Parts A and B, consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance plans, these let you choose any doctor who accepts Medicare patients. You're not stuck in a network because there aren't any. Plus, these plans help cover some of the Part B medical expenses Medicare doesn't pay. So why wait? Call now to request your free decision guide and find the AARP Medicare Supplement Plan that works for you. Like all Medicare Supplement plans, you'll be able to stay with a doctor or specialist you trust or look for someone new, as long as they accept Medicare patients. But unlike other plans, these are the only ones of their kind endorsed by AARP. Rates are competitive, so call today and learn more about choosing the doctors you'd like to see. Go long.
Good luck with the meeting today.
Thank you.
As our business is growing and you're on the road all day long, it's exhausting.
Holiday Inn is being a part of the team.
Fourth floor.
It makes life on the road much easier.
Book your next journey at holidayinn.com.
Shiny, gorgeous hair color is simply captivating. And now you can get exquisite, easy-to-use salon-quality color at home. Madison Reed is formulated in Italy, starting with all the things healthy hair loves, not the usual harsh ingredients. Only online. Satisfaction guaranteed. Madison Reed. Visit our website right now.
What's better than watching your favorite movies and shows? Watching your favorite movies and shows on the go. With Xfinity, you can stream on-demand movies and shows on any mobile device and even download them if you're going to be offline. With the competition, I have nothing to give you. I'm sorry. You could always watch at home. Well, the first way looked better to me, but don't take my word for it. Take the Xfinity X1 Challenge.
Visit Xfinity.com/challenge to see how the competition stacks up to Xfinity. Or upgrade today risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-XFINITY or go online.
It wasn't just a little fear.
Don't be scared. This was a genuine phobia.
We've got an all-new Top 10. Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Well, Tropical Storm Earl continuing to work its way through the western parts of the Caribbean. You can see getting closer and closer to Central America, Belize. Seeing some of the outer fringes impacting, at least with the clouds that are streaming on in from some of these sort of outer fringes from this system. So we're keeping an eye on it here as we look at the visible satellite at this hour.
Yeah, there are lots of threats with this storm, including the heavy rain and the gusty winds, plus storm surge flooding in very low-lying countries here towards the Yucatan Peninsula. There is at least the potential for more strengthening. It is not out of the question for a hurricane to be on our hands within the next 12 hours. hours.
That's right. So, all right, let's bring in our very own hurricane specialist, Carl Parker, who's joining us now with an update here on the tropics. And Carl, I was seeing word that some of the officials are telling the folks in Belize to maybe try to voluntarily get to some higher ground at this point.
Yeah, it is a very low-lying nation, and that really is the big worry, that this storm is going to be bringing a lot of wave action into the coastline there, and that wave action is going to cause a water level rise that could be significant in a place where the elevations are generally on the order of 2 to 3 feet at the most along the coast there. So that really is going to be one of the big worries going into tonight. Looking at the satellite imagery here, I want you to notice that the high cloud really fanning out in a lot of different directions. So that's indicating that the upper level environment is generally quite favorable for continued strengthening. The water temperatures are very warm, a lot of instability here. Not quite as much in the way of deep convection showing up in the last couple of frames, but right there at the end of the loop, see that little guy right there? That is our developing eyewall that is now just north of Honduras and also east of the Bay Islands, which we'll take a closer look at here in just a moment. And here's the forecast track and intensities from the Hurricane Center, and they do take it up to hurricane, so we do think there's every opportunity for the storm to become a hurricane in the next several hours here. That's why hurricane warnings are up across the coast of Belize, parts of Mexico, and also on the Bay Islands. They will be hit first by the storm, and the core is actually not very far away right now. There's the center of circulation. Here are the Bay Islands right there. In Roatan, I was just looking at the observations. Winds right now coming out of the northwest at 12 miles per hour, so they're not that strong right yet, but I think that's going to be changing pretty dramatically here over the next few hours. And the storm is most likely going to be moving into Belize late tonight and into early tomorrow, already getting a few showers coming on shore here with northeasterly winds, but not much more than that. So here's a high resolution model forecast. There you see the eye wall coming into Belize around midnight Eastern time, really just pounding the city going into 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. That continues then through 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then finally what's left of the storm continues to move farther inland. At that point starts to begin its downward trend in terms of intensity. But notice how the winds are going to be directed right on shore here late tonight, and what that's going to do is generate a lot of wave action. The continental shelf really drops off very rapidly, so there's not going to be as much of an issue with surge. It's really more about the waves coming in, and as successive waves come in, they pile on top of one another. That's called wave run-up and wave set-up, and that alone can bring you a water level rise, which may be significant because this is such a low-lying area. So storm surge flooding and some wind damage, I think, among the threats tonight, including also very heavy rain there in higher elevations in Belize. Mark, Alex, over to you.
Thank you so much, Carl. Meanwhile, let's talk about these classifications of these tropical cyclones here. You hear us talk about tropical depressions. Well, that's when you have those winds estimated or measured to be anything less than 39 miles per hour. Once you cross over that 39 mile per hour mark, anywhere between 39 and 73 miles per hour, that would be considered a tropical storm. And that is where Earl is at this point, right at that 70 mile per hour mark. If it gets up to 75, well, that would be a hurricane. Now, going from 70 to 75, the impact's not going to be much different. Now, if you go from 70 to 90, 100, 100 plus, now we're talking a different story. We're not anticipating that with Earl, but you get the picture here and how we classify these cyclones. Now, as we work our way through the season, we're getting ready to get into the peak, August, September, before things start to calm down into October as well as November.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High 89, chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 79. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 90. Here's our 7-day outlook.